Fox Puppy and Tapao. I am back with the Silent Max run, final chapter. I fussed a bit with my camera to get the, creepy little the dudes visible. I will keep an eye on, because I feel like it's bigger than I usually make it, so if it's blocking the text, I'll shrink it a little, but yeah. Alright, so as a reminder, I am doing so this is the final chapter of my run as Silent Max, who is a concept character who has the skills Talk to Animals and Mystical, and doesn't like talking. So in approximate order, so my dialogue choice will be in approximate order. If there is a Talk to Animals option, I will choose that. If there is a mystical option, I will choose that. There's not really an order between those. If there is a Talk to Animal or a mystical option, I will choose one of those. If there is a both of those option, I will definitely choose that. And then if there is neither of those options, but there is an option to stay silent, when given the choice, like basically Max will, it's a flowchart where Max will talk to animals, say spooky mystical things, stay quiet, or attempt to say as few words as possible. So I have no idea where I put his saves, but I'm sure I will find them. Oh, I need to finish the Karen run! I forgot that I was doing the Karen run. Maybe I'll try to record more of that tomorrow. I might release that on the Discord as a thing for people to watch, because I'm not doing that live on stream, but, so cool reason to come join our Discord. Oh, hi, Spirit Chrysalis! Oh, I'm so happy that you're hanging out here. I've been meaning to message you, and I'm gonna, say this now, so I hopefully remember, but I want to make sure to invite you not just to, you're welcome to join our streaming Discord, but I also have this other Discord that I mentioned to you that we do for, my cartoon night and stuff, and I want to get you invited to that, because then there is cartoon night, and there is also, I stream, Broadway stuff every other Sunday, and occasionally Tom does bad movie nights, and I just wanted to get you in on that Discord, because those are all things that, you'd be welcome to participate, and we do them remotely, so, happy to see you, and hope your night is going as well as it could be. In fact, you know what? This is my stream, I do what I want. I'm gonna send you an invite right now while I'm thinking of it. Right, people. Okay, apparently I have one. Copy. And feel like we've spoken on Discord before, but maybe. Okay, well, I can because that's one of those things with, brains that trend towards at least ADD symptoms. Doing things while you think of it is a valid thing to do. We're both on that one Discord together, right? So I can find you there. Oh, and I'm not even looking at my chat. Oh yes, where did I end with Silent Max last time? I'm pretty sure I ended right at because for the Silent Max runs, I've been doing whole chapters at a time. So, there is... So I should have done Chapter 1 and all of Chapter 1 and all of Chapter 2, and my plan is to do all of Chapter 3 tonight, so I'll be streaming for probably a while. Because I have been mostly doing stuff where it was in full chapter chunks as opposed to the Thembo run, which has been in shorter chunks. I'm gonna finish this thing I'm doing, and then I will get started. I have not found the saves, so I'm gonna do that too. That's my other run. That's that run. Ah, Max! I put Max in section 9. And so at the end of Monday and at the end of Tuesday. we go. There we go! Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Yes, I have succeeded. Yes, like, you should look in Discord. I just was struggling to remember that you were not Spirit Chrysalis on Discord, but your other username. So I had to go find a Discord we were already on together to find you to message you. So that was what that delay was. Also, if you have any interest in joining our stream Discord, and like, no pressure, like, if, like, this is just our streamer Discord. But like, this is, we also have this Discord that we put together, for the four of us, since we do a lot of group streams, and this is basically just a place where we announce our streams and chat about the things we're streaming, so. Alright. Cool. I'm glad to see you. Glad to have you stop in, and I'm glad I got the chance to something to kick me to remind me to do that. Alright. This is the end of episode 2. Episode 3 awaits. Proceed if you dare. If you'd like to continue with this world state in episode 3, please save your game now. Yeah, no, of course. And like, frankly, I read your recent Facebook post, which is why I am like trying to like there was your message about Cartoon Night, and then I saw your Facebook post, and I'm like, I definitely need to get you on our Discord, was my first thought there, and just hadn't materialized it until now, so. 100% no worries about being flaky when you're, like, especially, in fact, we are, also Tapao and I are fundraising, oh gosh, right? This chapter is gonna be a trip with the skill mystic. Max is just gonna channel that presence the whole time. But yeah, I think, so just in brief, we are doing fundraising, and this is like, no pressure to anyone, but like for the National Alliance on Mental Illness for Mental Health Awareness Month, because they do a lot of like grassroots stuff for working to destigmatize mental health issues, so. Oh yes, this chapter does have a couple of jump scares. They're not too egregious. It's like, oh, thank you, Tapao. Basically, there will be, it will be very clear when we leave the normal world to get to this sort of spooky time, and during spooky times, everything is kind of surreal time. Oh, and also thank you for the content warnings, Tapao. Yes, yes, exactly, Vox Puppy, exactly. Oh man, Tap's gonna be so freaked out. But yeah, so I'm gonna do the chapter recap also, so I feel like I was saying like 3 different things, but yes, fundraising for charity, there are content warnings, this way now, because I twisted my video camera, flipped my video camera. There are content warnings for this game. They will vary based on choices made, but it's a good idea to review because this is a horror game. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. Yeah. Alright, so I would like to get a full recap before starting episode 3. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and CD depots that felt unsafe, even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Tabitha. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. Dustin. Afraid! I like the speak to animal skill. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Deer. Pain! Rot! Decay! Duke. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. dive forward and scoop Gretchen into your arms just before she manages to wriggle out of her harness. Your eyes fixate on the dark tree line over Duke's shoulder. Duke. God damn it! Sorry, I should have warned that. Thankfully, this is just the recap, so we don't actually see the aftermath of that, but yes, so we met this dude named Duke in the woods while we were hanging out with Stella. And, of course, Max saved Gretchen because he cares a lot about animals. Aw, the voice I have for Gretchen sounds like Blanche from the Golden Girls. Fair enough. I do my best. I try to do the Southern Belle thing, but yeah, naturally, Max saved Gretchen, and poor Duke did not make it out the night. That pupper is straight up Noodle from TikTok. I will have to look that up because I believe, like, that, because Gretchen feels like a TikTok dog. Like, I hope that Stella in-universe is capitalizing on how great and cute Gretchen is. I mean, like, we already saw the bit where she has Gretchen in her videos, and it was actually so cute with Talk to Animals. Like, Stella has you stop to record a bit, so she's a YouTuber. I mean, I think everyone here maybe knows the game. But I loved the bit where we're recording Stella for her YouTube channel, and if you have Talk to Animals, you hear, like, when Stella says, "Keep searching, Stellars," and Gretchen says, "And keep digging, Gretches," and it's so precious. Noodle tells people if it's a bones day or a no bones day, depending on the dog's level of cope. That's fair. Gretchen is a good doggo. I will have to look Noodle up later. Alright, Deputy Franklin says, "Stella, keep an eye on him for us. Make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble." Sybil. "My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they are a terrible omen. A sign of great suffering and destruction to come." Stella. "Make yourself at home." So we stayed the night with Stella, because that was the silent option, interestingly. Tabitha. "From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers." Avery. You know, it was actually interesting because I somehow managed to silent my way into plot dumping at Avery. I'm not sure how, but I did. So Avery got the full plot dump, which I imagine from Max went something like, went to the woods with Stella, met Duke, ran into horrible monsters called ditchlings. Well, omen monsters named ditchlings. Duke accidentally shot himself. It was traumatic. End of story. Avery. "Wow, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I'm gonna keep my ears open for you. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on here." Avery is a great character. I like them. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Oscar. "Have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there." Oh, that's true, Vox Puppy. That, or it all came flooding out like what happens when you bottle stuff for too long. I can see that too. Like, Max just dead-eyed, like, straight, like, just in great depth dumping every single thing that happened that night, and Avery's like, "Woof, you needed this, dude." Kanika. "Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out." Stella. "Nothing strenuous, we promise." Dr. Kelly. "Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now. Right now anyways." Wayne. "Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask." You're interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. Kanika. "She didn't." Stella. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. Kanika. But the Shaw mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. After a collapse that killed over 100 people. Becca. My dad is a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says that they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left, so it's actually really safe and we can hang out here whenever we want. Rosalina. My dad says our house is haunted. Why does Wayne remind you of Edward Cullen with his stalking and shit? I mean, because he's being kind of creepy and stalkery? Oh my gosh, and he is some kind of not totally human entity that is maybe some form of undead, question mark, we don't know. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. Kanika. Wait a second, where'd 3 of you run off to? Are you kidding me? There is something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest like the deep growl of a predator. Stella. Hey, are you alright, Max? Stella reaches for your shoulder, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the... I can never ever read that passage fast enough. Stella. Max! Max, are you alright? Rosalina. Wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Your surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. When you close your eyes, you see Rosalina's face, twisted with pain, staring up at you with tear-stained, streaked cheeks. Trapped by powers beyond her control, terrified of what her now uncertain future would hold. Time to wake up! So yeah, that's a good overview of the previous chapters, highlighting the choices made. I really appreciate the recap function. Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You managed to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw mines still stuck to your skin. I don't see why he wouldn't take a shower. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The water is hot and, surprisingly enough, clean. As steam fills your lungs and soot washes down the drain, you... well, there's a mystical option, so... Every minute feels like another thread holding this town together starts to unravel. Thoughts of doom consume you. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. I did like that there was an option, with hot and powerful that you can just think about nothing, because that's the thembo or himbo or herbo way. Time to start your day. Oh, I'm gonna check on Dustin. There are 2 of them now. Oh, I like both of those options. Well, let's start with morning. Saying good morning. It's only polite. Morning, Dustin. Who's your friend? Dustin. Her name Mom. She come to visit. Aw, that's Dustin's mom. That's sweet. Dustin Mom. I Dustin Mom. Gotta stay with Dustin until glass house empty. Thank you, human, for taking care of my boy. What happened to your glass house? Dustin Mom. Asshole squatter move in. Kick Dustin Mom out. Oh, poor Dustin's mom. Dustin. Squatter tried to eat Mom. Squatter evil. Dustin Mom. Squatter may be asshole, but squatter not evil. It just tried to survive, just like all creature. Dustin still have much to learn. I love these possums. Oh, they're precious. I had a rough night. Can you console me? Dustin. Was it because of Cat Monster? Dustin was scared too. Cat Monster? Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll keep Dustin's mom's answer is very sweet, but wait a second. I'm sorry. Has anything in this game to this point said anything about a cat monster besides the mountain lions? Anything? Am I missing something? Am I misremembering something? Or is this the first time a cat monster has been mentioned? Maybe it's just the mountain lions. That's a running gag. Maybe it's just the mountain lions. Or maybe there's a new monster that we will find more out about later. Thank you, Box Puppy and Tapao. Frou-Frou! I forgot about Frou-Frou. They are just a normal cat that they are calling a monster because Frou-Frou be like that. That is understandable. Okay, I was freaking out there for a minute because I thought there was like another new monster that we didn't know about yet. Alright. That question is answered. Cool. But also, okay, Dustin's mother. Hiss! If Cat Monster want to eat Dustin, Cat Monster will have to go through Dustin Mom first. Dustin Mom will kill! Okay, we don't know if Frou-Frou is normal. That's fair. Frou-Frou is currently not a cat, is not an obvious cat monster yet. Ha ha ha, Dustin and Mom. Then Dustin and Mom eat like kings. This nature. I've gotta go. Bye. Both opossums. K! I love them. Indeed, this game does have an interesting vibe. Oh, right. So Spirit Chrysalis, have you played this game? Because I'm also, if anything comes up that is confusing, I'm happy to answer questions. Just ask away. I know there was the recap, but the recap's a little jumps through things pretty quickly. I think it does a good job of establishing the scene, which is you were from out of town. Okay, fair enough. Like, your character is from out of town and is coming to your old family ancestral home for this funeral and has been running into all sorts of crazy, terrible shit. Okay, fair enough. Watching with the knowledge that spoilers are okay. And yes, also, like I said, if anything is confusing, like, I'm happy to give verbal recaps on things. So absolutely, yeah, sure. No problem. Like, definitely feel free to ask anything that is confusing. I'm happy to clarify things as needed. Yes, okay. That's that. Alright. And so yeah, so you're staying in a guest room in your ancestral family home, which is really kind of crumbling. And in disrepair, but anyway, there's a lot going on. Alright, that's that. I want to say, let's look out the window. You walk over to the window, fondly thinking about the pleasant view it provided you on Monday. It's the same view. Okay, fair enough, game. You turn back to the room. Check the closet. How long were you going... Oh my gosh, I didn't check the closet before, I guess. How long were you going to have slept in this room without realizing you shared the space with that doll? Hopefully it doesn't get up and move while you're not around. Pick it up or a hell no. Oh yes, this game's music is fucking great, that's true. I'm inclined to go with hell no. Some things are best left untouched. You close the closet door behind you. Alright, message the group chat with Stella and Kanika. You pull out your phone and open your group chat with Stella and Kanika. I love that there is an option, because although I have decided that Max is relatively comfortable texting compared to talking, more comfortable with texting than talking, I love that there's an option to just send photos, because I do think that he's the sort of dude who would, if a photo or emoji would suffice, he would stick to that, so... Oh, it's the "this is fine" guy! Ah, I love that I can recognize immediately what meme the image that is. You send a photo of a pained old man. It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Do I want to text them individually? I think I think I'm not really trying to pursue any specific romantic angles with Max so far, and I think less talking is better, even if it is text. So he sent a message to the group chat. That gets the point across. It communicates to both of them at the same time that he is awake, alive, and doing. And that is, I think, for Max, a marvel of communication. You've done everything you wanted to up here. It's time to start your day. You enter the kitchen to find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best she can. Frou-Frou. Vile women, destroying the natural order of my kitchen. Tabitha's gaze swivels from the woman to you, her glare intensifying. And that Tabby didn't strangle him for yesterday, indeed. Box puppy. Alright. Normally I would do the talk to animals option, but I actually kind of love the idea of him just, they're going to be like, I don't know, I just like for Max the stare in silence option. You stare in silence at the two women in the kitchen. Tabitha. Good, you're up. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible's wound up happening, so you're coming with me. Silent. You have nothing to say here. Tabitha. Janie, lock up when you leave, please. And don't go rearranging anything, I'll know. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Janie. Oh, Max, but I keep wanting to give her a Midwestern accent, and I don't know why, because they're in North Carolina. How do I want to do this? Oh, Max, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened. Oh, right, and then I ended up Irish because I was trying to move away from Midwestern and towards Southern, and despite the fact I've had no problems with Gretchen's Southern Belle accent, I keep landing on Irish for Janie, which is obviously incorrect. I mean, yes, she's a redhead, but still. Janie, couldn't have happened to nicer people. Maybe I will just read her voice normally because I can't figure out an accent. Right, there is a mystical option. So Max shall say, last night was an unavoidable tragedy, but I'm afraid there's more to come. Janie, oh dear, that sounds just dreadful. Have you considered stopping by the church at some point this week? My husband's the pastor, and he's been going absolutely stir-crazy since we moved here, what with nobody really attending the sermons. It'd probably do him a lot of good to talk you through your worries. You remain silent. Janie. Oh, take your time, of course. You're here all week, after all. Just know that you can stop by the church at any time. The door is always open. Turn and leave. You turn and leave. Janie. Be safe out there, you two. You and Tabitha walk through the doors of the estate and into her car. The ride to town is uneventful. Your cousin's unsurprisingly more focused on the road than on making conversation. Suits Max fine. Tabitha. Alright, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. Say nothing. As is the way. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Fine, okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you never would have let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms off, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Tabitha. Ugh, other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. You say nothing in response. Tabitha. We're burning daylight. Come on already. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Sybil. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Tabitha. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Sybil. Of course. Max, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. You remain silent. One thing about this is it does make things go a little faster when it's like, oh, I could consider all of these, like, 5 to 6 lovely dialogue. No, this character doesn't do that. You know what? I like that, yeah. You get the feeling that Max speaks a fair bit with his facial expressions. I could see that, Box Peppy, yeah, like, does a lot of, like, nodding, like, shaking his head, like, making faces. Yeah, I could see that. Headcanon accepted for the character. Therefore canon, because it is I am running the character. Sybil. Be civil while we're gone, Miles. Miles rolls his eyes. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tinkling of bells. Max seems like the sort to quietly wait. It isn't long before your thoughts are interrupted by the tinkling of bells announcing another patron. Oh, it's Beau by himself. I haven't caught up with some of Tapau's VODs, so this will actually be the first time I'm seeing the scene with Beau by himself. Scarlet Hollow Link run. I mean, you're not totally wrong. Like, I am kind of going for that silent video game protagonist vibe. I mean, not intentionally, but the vibe I'm going for happens to work with that silent video game protagonist thing. Unless there's a mystical or a talk to animals thing. Like, Max will happily chat with the possums. That's fine. Beau is very copacetic. All right. Beau. Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Max, aren't you? My name is Beau. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. The policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy. Remain silent. Although, whatever face Max was making there was not probably the face I was making, because the face I'm making is like, I don't know what to say here. That's not quite the... Yeah, so I'm gonna say, remain silent, nod solemnly. Yeah. Beau. It's okay to be quiet. Those woods can be awful scary, especially if you're not used to them, and I know you did your best to help. Mama's pretty broken up about it. I'm trying to hold it together since I'm the man of the house now, but it ain't easy. Me and him was supposed to bring Big Betty to the state fair this week, but now he's gone. As of this morning, so is she. So I suppose if I'm not going to the fair, I might as well make myself useful and get out in the woods to look for what's left of my daddy. You was there, right? Could you tell me where to look so I can try and find him? Okay, that is the thing that I think Max will verbalize for. OMG, there was a family with 2 parents in this town, I disbelieve. Fair. Yeah, no, I think Max would be like, nah, I respect that ask. He died on the northeast edge of town, off the Askina Trail. Beau. Thank you, Max. I appreciate you trying to help us out. I don't rest easy knowing he's out there somewhere, all by his lonesome. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Stella. Oh my god, hey, I overslept. Still gotta make myself breakfast. If y'all want, you can swing by. Otherwise, meet at the library and figure out a plan. Kanika. I think I'm good. Just had a big fight, not really hungry. Gonna chill in my van for a while if you want to hang out, though. Otherwise, see you guys at library. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. Huh. I think Max is in the habit of just sort of walking off without saying anything, so it wouldn't really occur to him that it was a problem to do so. So the question is where to go, because this is, like, obviously it is the bond with cousin or go hang out with one of the love interests time. I kind of want to go see Avery, like, yeah, like, like, Max isn't super talkative, but I'm gonna go see Avery. The diner is busy, but its vibe is different than the past 2 days, its atmosphere muted and serious. The miners glance up at you with suspicion. Avery. Hey, good to see you alive and well. You caught me at a good time. Break just started. I, heard about what happened last night. I mean, to be fair, Box Puppy, you're not wrong. Would another question be, do I want my cousin more pissed at me? But honestly, I think Max does not see himself as having done as much to upset Tabitha, because unlike my Thembo character, like, Max totally failed at questioning the miners because, that involved way too much talking to people. Literally, I, like, went up and said, hello, and then there were a whole bunch of options, but all of them involved talking, so I went, goodbye, and left. Anyway, Avery continues. The diner has been buzzing all morning, so I've been hearing a lot of things. Seems like those fellas back there are getting pretty riled up. It might be a good idea to give them some privacy, especially considering, you know, who you're related to. How about we take some biscuits to go? There's a little garden next door. I think you might like it. I like it anyway. You remain silent, letting Avery take the reins. Presumably nodded. Avery. 2 biscuits to go, if you don't mind, Sal. The sour-faced cook nods and sets a box on the counter. Avery. See ya, Aunt Winnie. Winnie. Don't get my Avery into any trouble, Max. I've heard about what you've been getting up to, and if anything happens to them, you'll learn the true wrath of a southern woman. Avery. We'll be sticking around the neighborhood. Unless a sinkhole opens up, I can't imagine there's much trouble to get into. And this is the spot. It's a public garden I've been putting together. It was just an empty lot when I first moved here, but Winnie said it was okay for me to mess with it. So when I'm stuck in a rut with work or music, I come here and dig around in the dirt, just organizing the chaos for a little while. But I don't think we came here to talk about my side projects. I've been hearing some absolutely wild stuff about last night. I mean, I don't know how much you overheard in the diner, but it seems like the miners are planning a strike. Some of them have been saying that the old mine is haunted too, that ghosts caused the collapse. I've heard about what happened to Oscar's kid too. What really went down last night? You know what? I think that... Yeah, exactly, Box Puppy. Max says hello, gets looked at, waves by internally going, nope. But yeah, you know what? I think I have set a precedent with Avery where I dumped on him, like Max dumped on him about the first night, and he was chill about it. So I think Max will be like, okay, I have identified this person as a person I can actually verbally dump to. And also, it's technically, it doesn't tell me what actually gets said here. It is just... I might also text Tabitha about the strike, but I like the fill Avery in on last night option. Do it. You do your best to sound sane as you fill Avery in on all the details of what happened in the mines. The knocking, the ghostly figures of dust and light, the strange episode with the stone, and of course the violent way it all ended. Avery. Holy shit! Between this and all the stuff that happened in the woods, it's like this town personally has it in for you. Aha, yes! A mystical option. I could feel the chains of destiny drag me here. Destiny isn't usually fun. Avery. That's an outlook. I guess it depends on your definition of fun, though. I don't really like to admit it, but it's kind of exciting, isn't it? Things actually happening here? I just wish I weren't hearing about it secondhand. I guess I should be glad I haven't been in the middle of all that danger, but at the same time, I want to know what those ghost miners looked like, you know? I want to have seen those awful little things that live in the woods. But I also hope it quiets down. The past 2 days have probably been as much horror as this little town can handle. Sorry, I must seem a little off my rocker. Yeah, no, remain silent. I don't even know why I stopped that long to think about it. Remain silent. You stare off into the middle distance for a moment, once again reburying the events of last night. I like that one of the options here is you can just say, "You're hot." That is way too forward for Max. Oh. I kind of want to enjoy a quiet moment, but I actually think first I'm going to invite him ghost hunting. Them. Gosh, I feel shitty for misgendering Avery. I love that there's a non-binary character who explicitly uses they, them pronouns. Avery is a great character, and I'm gonna catch myself on it. So yes, Max has already talked this much to them. He's gonna also invite them ghost hunting. Want to come ghost hunting with us tonight? Me and Stella and Kanika are gonna ghost bust Oscar's house, I think around sundown. Avery. Ghost hunting? Hell yes! Count me in. I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but with the sort of freaky stuff Scarlet Hollow has been throwing at you this week, I guess I'll be prepared for anything. Thanks for thinking to invite me. I really appreciate that. You let the breeze wash over you as you enjoy a quiet moment in Avery's garden. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Stella. Almost forgot it's Mayor Jimmy Day! Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar. Meet you all there in half an hour. Kanika. I totally blanked on that. Been having a weird foggy morning. Frowny face. Wild that they're still doing the Mayor Jimmy thing even after last night. Do you think news has spread yet? But yeah, we should go see Oscar. See y'all soon. Avery. That's a lot of texts. There is a remain silent option here, but I think I'm actually gonna go for it. At the end of the day, it is up to... I do have a flowchart, but it is also my own discretion. So I'm gonna do this because it's actually pretty short, and I like it as a response. It's Mayor Jimmy Day? Oh no, ad. Alright, thank you for letting me know, Box Puppy. I will, chat and say hi. I expect that Box Puppy will let me know when the ad has ended. And that's also a thing, by the way, oh shoot, I was gonna say to Spirit Crystals, like, there's probably an ad for everyone. Not guaranteed, but hey Tapao, how's it going? I don't actually know how to tell where the thing is. Wait, if I pull this out and I do it like, and I like do this, will I see it? No, it doesn't tell me that it's running an ad, and I don't know how to see it. Ooh. Alright. Hi, I am eating cheese. Fair enough, Tabao. And having a beverage. Oh, an adult-type beverage? Okay, cool. Oh, that's good. Box Puppy, you were able to get them to stop on PC, but yeah, it's a lot harder to make ads go away on mobile. Through ad blockers, anyway. Alright, did you miss anything before this? So I decided that Max was actually going to verbalize about it's Mayor Jimmy Day? Because I like that, because it's like, it's not a complex thing to be said, and it's not even trying to, like, explain anything. It's... Anyway. Alright, so Max says, it's Mayor Jimmy Day? Avery. Oh, it's Mayor Jimmy Day! Hell yeah! He's one of the best parts of living here, honestly. I've still got a little bit of time to kill before my shift starts back up, and I'm sure Aunt Winnie won't mind. Let's get over there before there's too much of a crowd. Let's do it! Yay! I actually am kind of liking this. You know what? I wasn't originally going for a romance option with Max, but I have changed my mind. I have decided that Max is like really like vibing with Avery, and like the very fact that Max has felt comfortable verbal dumping at Avery twice now means that he is rather comfortable around them. So clearly this is, I'm like, you know what, I'm digging this vibe. I'm digging, you know, what like Avery seems like an individual who would be pretty chill with the potential romantic option with someone who's not a big talker. Oh, thank you, Tapao! That's very cool of you! I appreciate you so much, Tapao! Oh my goodness, I am out of water. That is no good. Tapao, you are great! Thank you so much for gifting Box Puppy a sub. That's so cool of you. I appreciate it a lot, and I'm sure Box Puppy appreciates it a lot too. Alright, I am gonna be right back, because playing a visual novel game where I am reading all of the dialogue with an empty water bottle just seems like not the best plan. So, BRB, but just refilling my water, so it should be pretty short. Alright, I am back with water, and also I fussed around with my bot timers a little bit. Alright. You and Avery make your way to the library. It's busier than usual. A small crowd has already formed in a corner of the main foyer. Stella. Oh, hey Max! And Avery too! Gretchen. The human who smells of breakfast, but I see no bacon, no biscuits. How dare my senses be tantalized so, and all for a lie! Avery. Hey, can't believe I'd almost forgotten about Mayor Jimmy Day. Kanika. Surprised to see you here, Max. I half expected you to have finally skipped town. Stella. Yes, the whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Max to the mayor for, like, the entire time I've known him. Kanika. It'll be worth it. Trust us. Stella. Alright, shall we? Oh, Gretchen's face! Gretchen is very... Oh, Gretchen is very glary. Oh gosh, and for Max, this is the first time he's discovering that the mayor is a dog. Nobody told him. Now, on the other hand, that's not a surprise he's gonna mind. He's a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. And unless you're mistaken, the serious man by his side is Deputy Franklin, one of the policemen you spoke to following your encounter in the woods on Monday. Mayor. Good morning, citizen. I don't believe we've met. He holds out his paw as if to shake your hand. Oh, there's so many good options to tell him. Well, Deputy Franklin is to a human, so that's obviously not. So there is shake his paw, it's lovely to meet you, Mr. Mayor. Gretchen says you're a lowlife. Yeah, okay, I need to pick one of those two. It's lovely to meet you, Mr. Mayor, or Gretchen says you're lowlife. You know what, I think I ain't gonna tell on Gretchen that way, and I think, like, Max would want to make a good... OMG, and he didn't read the book, yeah. So, he just didn't know. But it's not a surprise he's likely to be verbal about. And honestly, it's not a surprise he's likely to be that phased about. If anything, Max probably thinks it's cool. Like, I'm gonna go with Max is gonna try to make a nice first impression and not do Gretchen dirty like that. So, and he's certainly not gonna talk to any of the humans, so shake his paw. You take his little paw in your hand, but the burly security detail stops you. Security guard. No paw shaking, only head pats and ear scratches allowed. Mayor. I must apologize for my security detail. He has my best interests at heart, but he can be a little gruff at times. Yeah, I'm gonna actually say this because I think Max might earnestly say this to the mayor. Mr. Mayor, there's something very serious going on in town. We need your help. Murmurs stir in the crowd behind you as you relay the danger to the mayor. Mayor, of course, the pet disappearances. I've been made aware of the situation. But what do you expect me to do about it? It's autumn. That's tourist season in Scarlet Hollow. I can't turn away the lifeblood of this town, not with the mine faltering the way it is. There was a mine collapse last night. We don't need any more news of disaster coming out of Scarlet Hollow. Do you understand? Huh. This is interesting. Okay, there are so many options here. So I can ask, you care about tourists? Wait, how do you know what's going on? I think I'm not going to do that one. I think Max is just going to take it as, sure, he probably was told or overheard. So you know there are monsters laying eggs in the local animals and you're just going to let it happen? Might be what I choose. You're very well spoken. I can see how you got elected. Yeah, and people are watching. Don't be too suspicious. Is not. Max does not care. Max, it just he talks to animals without worrying what people think. I've already established that. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a little accusatory, like. So you know there are monsters laying eggs in the local animals, and you're just going to let it happen? Avery, am I missing something here? Kanika, I'm as lost as you are. Avery, alright, well, it looks like Max is an animal whisperer. I'm down with that. Yeah! Alright. Clearly the right choice for romance option for Max. I'm here for it. Avery is here for it. I like that Avery just immediately took it as read. Like, ah, yes, I see Max is talking to the dog. That seems fine. And I can vibe with that. The mayor. Laying eggs? Don't be ridiculous. I'm sure that whatever is causing these disappearances is just a bear or a mountain lion. We've all smelled them up in those hills. They'll move on soon enough. This is a southern town. Plenty of people are armed around these parts. They'll take care of the problem before it gets out of hand. And in the meantime, it's best not to cause a panic. I'm a pillar of this community. It's my job to project strength to my constituents. Gretchen. I've heard just about enough from you, Jimmy. Look at you, putting on a show in front of your adoring fans while the dogs of this town are snatched up by monsters in the woods, hoping the humans will clean it all up for you. When are you finally going to do something meaningful for the hairier citizens of Scarlet Hollow? Mayor. Now, Miss Gretchen, there's no need. Gretchen. Scraps would never have let those things prowl the woods for so long. And yet you sit back waiting for the humans to notice and letting more innocent dogs suffer. You know, I almost lost my life to those things the other night, and my goodness, haven't you heard about poor Duke? I also love Gretchen's little eggy face. Sorry. The mayor. Now, Gretchen, a lot of those were old dogs. It's fair of me to assume they simply went to the big farm upstate. Gretchen. Don't you dare talk to me about old dogs! Oh my god, I love all of these options. Okay. Scraps must have been the previous mayor, yeah. So Max is not going to say he's only a dog. It's not like he has any real power, because Max is probably not going to process that fact. I'm leaning towards she's got a good point, Mr. Mayor. Although I do like the option of, I guess every politician is corrupt and cowardly, even the actual dogs. And then, of course, there's the talk to the humans option, which is just right out, and the what? I'm not talking to and understanding the animals option, which has never been what Max is gonna take. Oh, Scraps wants to be the next mayor. Ooh. political dog drama. I'm here for it. Yep. I'm gonna go with... She's got a good point, Mr. Mayor. Gretchen. You're damn right I do. Scraps would have been out in those woods at the first sign of trouble, tearing out the throats of any creature who dared threaten the dogs of Scarlet Hollow. Yet here he is, posing for the little rectangles like nothing is wrong in this town. Gretchen squirms in Stella's arms, straining to get at Mayor Jimmy. Stella. Hey, whoa, Gretchen. Calm down, old girl. You're gonna pull a muscle. Mayor. Mr. Franklin, I think now's a good time to dispose of this riffraff. Huh. Security goon. Miss Richmond, I'm gonna have to ask you and your dog to step away from the mayor. Stella. I should have known better. These two have never been able to get along. Max, you've got to fill me in on their feud later. I've always been curious about why Gretchen gets so fussy near Mayor Jimmy. I am so here for people just believing Max. I mean, of course Stella would, but I also just love that Avery just rolled with it. But yeah, no, I just am having that same thought. Does Deputy Franklin also understand the mayor? Is that why he is the mayor's security detail? Or is it just because from the human's perspective, Gretchen was barking excessively at him? I'm going to choose to believe the Deputy Franklin can understand animals and just isn't talkative about it. Stella walks off, still struggling to hold Gretchen as she shouts insults back at Jimmy. Ingrate! Ne'er-do-well! You dog! Kanika and Avery are quick to follow. And I will also follow. That was lovely. Alright, I've also been looking forward to chatting with Mayor Jimmy with Talk to Animals. That was very satisfying. I've been looking forward to that conversation, and I feel I was not disappointed. It looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Mystical. It's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike this man. Which, to be fair, it might not be something wrong with him. It could be like he's cursed or something. But yeah, the preacher. Strange man. Because, like, when you talk to him with, like... I've talked to him with, like, street smarts and keen eye, and it's obvious that he's just trying too hard and, like, sabotaging himself in doing so, is the impression from the, you know, the skills that know people really well, which makes me think that he's probably not, like, evil, which makes me think that maybe there is something mystically, like he's cursed or something. Like, it is not his fault that there is something mystically off-putting about him. That is my theory. Strange man. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Max? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry to hear about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. Oh my goodness, I love these talk to animals options. There's Gretchen says she didn't vote for the mayor, or the mayor... I think I'm gonna go with this one, actually. The mayor is a huckster and a fraud. The bastard cares more about tourism than the fate of this town. The pastor goes quiet for a second, his face suddenly white as a sheet. The smile fades from his face as he stares at you intently, studying your expression. The pastor can speak to animals! The pastor can speak to animals! Ah! I mean, I knew that most of the characters had a skill, like, I like, the way you have skills, like, the characters do too, but, like, OMG, exactly, Tapao, OMG, like, among other things, I know that there's been some, like, they've said what some of the other characters' skills include, and, like, for example, I imagine Avery probably has, like, hot as a skill, like, different people have different skills. The preacher, the pastor can speak to animals! Fair, Spirit Chrysalis, being able to talk to animals may be diegetic and semi-common here. You're not wrong. I mean, it's obviously a thing that people keep secret, but, like... I mean, no one else has been able to that we've known about, because... So, one thing, for Spirit Chrysalis' sake, when you start this game, you're given a choice of 7 skills, and you can pick 2. And the skills are... I guess I don't really need to listen. So I've got Max has Mystical and Talk to Animals. Those are the 2 Wuji skills, but there's also, like, Powerful Build, which generally just means you're strong and hardy. Hot is what it sounds like on the tin. That's why my other run is my Thembo run, because I am playing a hot and powerful build character who uses they them pronouns. So would be a himbo, but is a Thembo. And then there's Book Smart, and Street Smart, and Keen Eye, which, Keen Eye is, like, just being very observant about things and people. And is that all of them? I was sort of counting, and then I sort of lost track. But anyway, so... The impression I've gotten, and, I mean, I don't know, I know Box Buffy's watched more of the developer stuff, than I have, so they might be able to confirm this, but, like, my understanding is that... Wow, sorry, my brain just totally... Heart of gold, dumb of ass. Yes, exactly. But, so my theory is that all of the major named characters also have 2 skills. And I believe it's been, like, either directly stated or implied that about several of the characters. And so we just found out that Pastor Daniel, like, for example, Sybil obviously has the Mystic skill. And it seems like Pastor Daniel can talk to animals. That is so cool. I'm very excited to see where this conversation goes. Alright, Pastor Daniel. You too? He glances to either side before continuing. I thought I was the only one. Please, come visit me at the church soon. Seems like we might have a lot to talk about. Oh, that's it! Oh, that's it for now. For now. Another thing to look forward to in Chapter 4, I guess. He hurries off, suddenly quiet and serious. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. I'm so excited to have a chat with the pastor about, like... OMG! Talk to animals, right? Oh, that was so cool! I did not expect a "you too" response. Stella. Anyway, alright. Okay, scene transition. Stella. Oh my god. Kanika. Poor Rosalina. I can't even imagine how scary this has been for her. Oscar. She seems in high spirits right now, but they've got her on some pretty strong pain medication, so I'm not sure how she's going to feel when that wears off. Stella. And it was the whole foot? Oscar. Yeah, it's bad. But she's alive. We'll both be able to move on from this. We just have to get through the tough parts first. Remain silent. Avery. It's alright, man. Just take a deep breath. She's gonna be okay. You know what? I like that Avery stepped right into Max's silence. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm seeing this as a good potential match. Like, they can be Max's voice when Max needs a voice that is not his own. Here for it. Kanika. Oscar. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I'd better get going. I was only supposed to come back to pick up a few things, but then the hospital called and said there'd been some big bus accident on the highway, and they need the beds, so I have to come pick her up. Even though our house is still haunted, and the only place she can lie down until then is the dirty back room that drove her away in the first place, and Mayor Jimmy Day is happening. Sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed. Kanika. It's okay, Oscar. We're here to help. Stella. Yeah, we're gonna get that ghost. Avery. If you'd like, we could cleanse your house while you go pick her up. Seems like a good idea to do it while the sun is up anyway, right? Oscar. If only, but it doesn't come out during the day. So any cleansing attempts are going to have to wait until nightfall. I'm I'm still not even sure we can get rid of it at all. I think I'd have to see for myself that it was gone. It managed to trick me a couple of times, and I can't handle any more surprises right now. Oh, yes, yes, thank you, Box Puppy. Okay, so Stella has powerful build and street smart. I could see that. Kanika has mystic and book smart. Makes sense. Oscar has... That's so funny, though, that Kanika has mystic, but is such a skeptic. Like, so she's just gotten these bad vibes all her life and is just, I guess, reacted in the, like, official opposite way. Oscar being book smart and powerful build, I could see. Avery, hot and keen eye. I could see that. Yeah, that would make sense for Avery. Wayne, powerful build and question mark. Sybil, mystic and keen eye tracks. And Tabby, question mark and question mark. That's... Oh, yeah, I see it. Yep, Box Puppy, I can see that. It's in Kanika's, mystic is in conflict with her book smart. So that's really interesting. Thank you, Box Puppy. Like, that was exactly the sort of, like, behind-the-scenes knowledge I figured you might have. I really do gotta sit down and watch some of those developer podcasts and such, because, like, this is such a cool game. It's so interesting. Anyway, Stella. I've got every ghost hunting device known to man. You're in good hands, Oscar. You remain silent. Oscar. I'm heading out. It should be dark by the time we get back, so I suppose I'll see you all then. Oscar hurries off, car keys jangling as he jogs out the door. Stella. Let's head up to Reese's. Maybe we can get him to come ghost hunting with us. Kanika. Oh no, you're not gonna try to get Dr. Kelly to let him leave the house, are you? She'll kick us out for even asking. I wonder if he even knows what happened last night. I don't know how disconnected he is from news around town. Jeez, should we tell him? Avery. It's always better to know about stuff like this. Withholding information and trying to keep people in the dark on purpose doesn't really help anyone. That's my opinion, at least. Anyway, y'all have fun at Dr. Kelly's place. Catch you tonight in the haunted house. Stella. See ya, Avery! Anyways, shall we? Time to go. Talk to animals option. So, about the mayor. Oh. I can also link the cork board where most of the game Discord theories get tossed up in the Discord if you'd like. Yeah, I would love that. Thank you, Box Puppy. Max. Alright, so Max says, so, about the mayor. Stella. Right, you seem to have some choice words for him. Oh, these options are all so good. Okay, so my options, I'm going to read out all the options because this is just, totally unique to the Talk to Animals feature. So you can say, he's corrupt. That dog cares more about tourist money than protecting the town. Or you can say, I liked the cut of his jib. It's good to see someone willing to keep things orderly during a time of crisis. That feels like a Karen answer. I'm not sure we can count on his support. Or, you should vote Scraps for the next election. That's who Gretchen supports. So I'm trying to decide between complaining about him being corrupt or telling them to vote for Scraps. I'm kind of leaning towards vote for Scraps. You should vote for Scraps the next election. That's who Gretchen supports. Stella. The Stray? Love that guy. He just seemed a little less mayoral than Jimmy. But if he's got Gretchen's support... Kanika. I've always liked Scraps. Gretchen's got good taste. Yeah, I'm glad I chose that option, actually, because, like, Gretchen doesn't have a way to communicate her support to the humans around her, so I am helping enable fairer dog elections. You know what? I think we're gonna find out what happens if someone doesn't specifically invite Tabitha to go ghost hunting, because I think it just won't occur to Max. He won't assume that she wanted to go. Oh, fair. Spirit Chrysalis, do they explain why there is a dog as a mare? They do, actually. In one of the in chapter 2, like, okay, at this point, they're probably not going to explain it to my character, but there is a point at which the game will explain it. In chapter 2, you have the option, and I think you actually only get this option if you have book smarts, to read a book that is the full history of the town. Yeah, Tapao confirms. With Booksmart, there's a book that is the full history of the town, and if you don't have Booksmart, you'll just skim it and you won't find this out. But with Booksmart, you get to read the whole book, and it talks about how at some point they started, the town went to the dog-mare system in 1920 or so, which I think was shortly after the mine collapse, actually. Probably because they were just like, we're done with mares here. But, like, you know, also, Tabitha has in other runs, I've seen Tabitha comment on, like, everyone knows the Scarlets run this town. The dog-mare thing is just for show. But, yeah. No, I mean, ultimately, I remember there being something about, like, you know, we switched to a dog-mare system and there's been no complaints, so we kept it. Oh, I'm sorry, Spirit Crystals. Oh, I say sorry, but, like... John coming in with the first comment, coming in strong with the comment, so if they allow horses to run for mayor as well, it could be a literal dog and pony show. Oh, jeez. Alright, I think that at some point... Oh, good. Glad to hear the ads are over. I mean, I will be a little bit delayed, but I assume that there's generally a bit of a delay, but... okay, cool. So, let's see. I was saying something about the dog-mare system. I think I was just saying that there was, like... I think in the book they said something about it being, like... Nobody's had any complaints about it so far, so they just kept it going. And also, like, your cousin Tabitha at some point comments, everyone knows the Scarlets are really the ones who run things in this town anyway, so... So, I mean, it feels like what they did was, it's like, the mare is kind of just for show anyway, so let's just lean into that and have a dog mare. Nobody's complained about it. Everyone loves the system. It's great. You get to have Mare Dog Day. Alright, and also, Johnny One Take, on the literal dog and pony show, it could be that the mare is a dog, but, like, you know, some other major office of governmental stuff is a horse, and then it could be dog and pony. Oh, and thank you to Power for the shout out. Yes, right, and I did also say, so, if it was in the early 1900s, it probably happened shortly after the mine collapsed, which was like a huge disaster and a huge blow to the town, so it may have simply been that they're just like, nah, fuck it, we're done with having people mares fuck things up. I don't remember. I definitely think the book didn't explain it very well, just explained that it was a thing that the town decided to do and then just stuck with it. Alright, let's see. Right. Oh, and Box Peppy was saying you miss some things if Tabby isn't there, and Wayne shows up early in the trip. So, missing things is a little too bad, but Wayne showing up early in the trip is not a thing I've seen on, like, I've only done one full playthrough myself, and so, I mean, and the other playthrough I intend to do on stream, and generally in my Thembo run, like, my Thembo really likes their cousin and wants to get along. And I wanted to do another run wherein I specifically went out of my way to, like, have a really good relationship with Tabitha. So... fair enough! Tapao says do it, and I was leaning towards doing it. So, yeah, we'll see. Well... I think it's just not gonna occur to Max to invite Tabitha ghost hunting. So they're gonna just head to Reese's. Stella. Alright, shall we head out? The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. You once again find yourself in front of Reese's house. A cold hesitation grips you as the building looms over the hilltop. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. Kanika. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? Stella. There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Kanika. Okay, but what if she yells at us? It's too late. The door swings open. Reese. Hey! Stella. Reese! Kanika. Oh my god, dude, it's been ages! Reese. You must be Max, right? I've heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I got all the Max updates. Gotcha. My goodness gracious, there's something that smells terribly off about that boy. Get away from my Stella, you fiend! Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip as she tries to get between them. Yeah, it's definitely heavily implied that Reese is... There's something terribly wrong with Reese. It's implied that it's something mystical, that is being passed off as chronic illness. Well, it is a chronic illness, essentially, but, like, my theory is that Reese died and his mother brought him back with, like, a demon deal or whatever has been going on in the town of Scarlet Hollow. That's my theory. There is more stuff to back that up as a possibility as we go through this dinner. Also, I do remember, Gretchen, I do remember Dr. Kelly specifically saying not to bring Gretchen, and, like, fair enough. Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip as she tries to get between them. Dr. Kelly. Are they here already? I knew you'd show up early, Stella, and you brought the dog. Great. Or wait, wasn't there something where, like... Oh, yeah. There is a seal, like, yeah, it's pretty strongly implied there is some kind of seal in the house. I just think the seals are demonic because of the thing, I want to say Fox Puppy. Someone shared, probably Fox Puppy, that was, like, a tarot deck that was showing those all of those same seals as demon things. And there's definitely a seal in the house. T'Pau, I agree that it is changing him, and I do remember seeing other runs where it's clear that Dr. Kelly is a little bit afraid of her own son. But I think that doesn't preclude the possibility that he's not supposed to be alive. And that she may actually have made, like, a deal to make it so that he didn't die. And now he's become something inhuman and she's, like, scared of what that means. Oh, yeah. That Dr. Kelly is... there's definitely... I saw in a run as well, in my Street Smarts and Kenai run that I did off-stream, I definitely got that same Dr. Kelly is afraid of him vibe. Anyway. Stella. Yeah, I thought she might cheer Reese up. I don't know what's gotten into her all of a sudden. Dr. Kelly. The dog stays outside. Stella. But... Kanika. It's okay, Stella. We can let her chill in my van for a bit. I'll run the AC and leave her some treats. You know I always have some of those easy-chew dog jerkies stashed away. Gretchen. The gall! The gumption! This is a violation of my rights! Stella. But we go everywhere together. Dr. Kelly. Do you want to come in or not? Kanika nervously tugs Stella away towards her van. Gretchen. You keep her safe from that monster, Max, you hear? You don't let a feather of harm fall on my darling Stella. Dr. Kelly. Well, what about you, Max? Are you coming in? I feel like it is... Oh gosh. Oh, that's kind of a hard choice for me. I'm actually, like, torn about the choice here enough that I'm saving there. 'Cause... silently wait for Stella and Kanika is certainly an option I can take. But I usually take the talk to animals option. And I am pretty curious what Reese would say if I say Gretchen called you a monster, Reese. Any idea what's up with that? But I am a little worried about leaving a terrible first impression. But then again, I don't think Max would be worried about that. I think that doesn't occur to him, given that he is completely unfazed by talking to animals in front of people and also usually only says the creepy mystical things. Message on the van window. Dog is fine. The AC is running. She has water and is listening to her baby music. Aw, well, that's nice to hear. Gretchen will be... I trust that Gretchen will be A-okay hanging out in Kanika's van. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna try this. Gretchen called you a monster, Reese. Any idea what's up with that? Reese. No clue. She's never liked me. Dr. Kelly. Reese doesn't do well with dogs. Now come on in. Let's get this over with. You follow Reese and Dr. Kelly inside. Stella and Kanika aren't far behind you. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile, uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced that you'd wandered into a real estate showing. Stella. So, how can I lend a hand? Dr. Kelly. By sitting down at the table and not puttering around in my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only thing left are the dinner rolls, which shouldn't be long. Then we can have a quick dinner and you can leave my house and go on about your business. Kanika. But I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. Reese. We still have time now, right? Dr. Kelly. You aren't seriously considering subjecting your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? Reese. It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. She's never liked him, so this isn't really new. Okay, so one of my theories, fitting in with that theory I was saying about one of the reasons that I started thinking that maybe Reese actually died and Dr. Kelly made a demon deal to bring him back to life is that there's a point when you're asking Stella what, if anything bad has ever happened to her out in the woods. And she talks about one time when they were all younger, Reese fell off a cliff and broke his arm, but he was fine. And so I started thinking, was he though? Because they've also mentioned about how I do at some point recall something about the last 10 years have been hard on him. So whatever's been going on has been going on for at least 10 years. And since they're all and since all the characters are in their 20s, that means it was in his teens that this started. So that's my theory. All of those things are, and even if, Gretchen is 17, but he could also be exaggerating when he says that Gretchen has never liked him. It could be that they were fine when they were kids, but then whatever happened 10 years ago happened, and then she started disliking him. Something that's been true for 10 years is something that you could easily wave off as, it's always been like that. And to be fair, this is just my theory, so, I may be totally wrong. It may be that, Reese has never been human. Heck, maybe he's like a changeling child. I didn't even think of that before. Anyway, Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. So yeah, there's a lot going on with Reese, and I have many theories, and I think I will talk more about them after this scene. Or possibly after this stream, yes. Right, so, Stella. I don't mind a little mess. Kanika. Yeah, I doubt it could be any worse than the way I keep my room. Dr. Kelly. Yes, okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Reese. Cool, we'll be just downstairs. Stella. You won't even know we're here. You make your way towards the basement stairs. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the rooms, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Kanika, your mom is so scary. Reese, she can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. I haven't been cleaning much. Boop, 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 boop. Skipping. Ah, man! Oh, no, I accidentally hit the back button. Remain silent. There are many, many things that were there that could have been asked of Reese. But that's not how Max do, so we're skipping all of that to remain silent. Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen. Dinner's on the table! Okay, I do feel a little bad, and I'm going to headcanon that some of those questions were asked by his actual longtime friends, and it didn't mean that we only got, 5 seconds down here with them getting to actually see his art and hang out with him. So, oh well, I guess that's what remaining silent does in this case. Reese, guess that's it for catching up. Dr. Kelly, make sure you all wash your hands with soap. I don't want anyone sharing their germs at the dinner table. Stella, sure thing, Doc. No use saying anything here. It's probably best to just silently comply. You make your way towards the sink, but are stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you've accidentally wandered into a hospital waiting room. But more than that, you feel something radiating out from behind it. Something dark and cold. Mystical. You've felt this before in the dusty tunnels you so narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum, like a muted scream heard through layers of rock, trying to draw you towards it. You feel lightheaded. You are compelled to approach the door, drawn in as if hypnotized. Oh, I love that! I forgot about this. You have a huge scroll wheel of options, but every single one of them is open the door. 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 Sorry, I wanted to be a little creepy. Okay. But then immediately broke my own tension. To Pow, I am actually doing fine. I fell asleep earlier today, but in the voice of Pinky and Bluey from Charlie the Unicorn, the door! Fair enough. But yeah, no, surprisingly enough, I've been doing pretty okay. I took a nap midday, but, honestly, I've been doing that kind of not infrequently because of my meds making me sleepy anyway, so... And honestly, even the sore throat I had is mostly cleared up, so... Super, super mild, thankfully. Anyway, let's open the door. Before you know it, the doorknob is turning in your hand, your heart full of both deep dread and a compulsive need to know what might be on the other side. Dr. Kelly, what do you think you're doing? Dr. Kelly, well? Yep, the mystical option. A dark presence lies beyond this door. Can't you feel it calling out? Dr. Kelly, that's called a draft, and there's nothing dark about it. It's just cold air. Now stop being weird and wash your hands already. Everyone's waiting on you. You won't let her interrupt you. You need to know what's behind the door. Dr. Kelly, oh, no you don't. Come on, wash your hands and sit down. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything that lets you go and see what's there, so I think it's just that Mystic is the closest you get, where you can get the sense that there's another seal there, because it's clearly the same vibe as in the mines. She grabs you by the shoulder, yanking you away. You do as she says, cleaning up under her watchful eye and allowing yourself to be ushered back to the table and away from the door. Probably for the best, honestly. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. And this is the place, if I recall correctly, where with keen eye, I guess, you can note that it's actually pretty weird, because if she were being overprotective of her son, she wouldn't have arranged the table as she did. I don't remember the entire logic behind it, but it was something like it's almost as if she's trying to put a barrier between, or trying to sit further away from him. I don't know. She sits opposite you at the far head of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun in the window behind her. Dr. Kelly. Pills. She slides a few tablets towards Reese. He obediently swallows them. Stella. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? Dr. Kelly. No, it's from a jar. I work too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. Stella. Well, you have excellent taste in brands, and if you ever want tips on easy home cooked pasta sauces, you know I... Dr. Kelly. No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. And I'm gonna just let there be an awkward pause. Kanika. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. You remain silent, quietly picking at store-bought spaghetti and dinner rolls. Reese. So, I was wondering if we could maybe watch a movie sometime this week while Max is still in town? Dr. Kelly. We'll have to see how you're feeling. Reese. I can handle a movie, Doc. Stella. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. Dr. Kelly. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. Reese. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in a basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Dr. Kelly. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Stella. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself up from the table and leaves. Dr. Kelly. Damn it. I knew it. I knew this would be too much. Everyone, get out of my house. Please. Just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with his life. All it does is hurt him more. Kanika. But we can't just leave him like this. Stella. Now is when he needs friends the most. Dr. Kelly. No, now is when he needs me the most. I am his doctor and his mother. I know you care about him. I know that, and he knows it too. But all any of you would do is get in the way. So just leave, please. Quietly leave is very much the Max way of doing things. You know, another theory, so I did briefly have the theory of, like, maybe he could be a changeling sort of child and, like, doesn't know it about himself, but his mother does. But going back to the demon deal idea, what if I'm right that his mother made a deal with a demon, but the deal was actually not to, like, save his life, but to have a child at all? But on the other hand, actually, There was also a lot of dialogue in some of the other scenes, versions of that scene I've seen, where it really seems like everything was a lot better when they were kids, which was where I got off. And also that thing where I remember Stella saying something about the last 10 years, which is what made me think that something suddenly changed. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that could be wrong with Reese, and there is so much we still do not know. You quietly turn around and walk off. Stella. We'll be back, Reese. Kanika. I hope you feel better soon. Dr. Kelly shuts the door in your faces. The click of a lock signals the end of your dinner at Reese's. The door to the clinic felt like it had the same draw as the carving in the mines. Stella. Do you think something's back there? You remain ominously silent. Max. Do you think Reese might have a supernatural affliction? Lots of mystical options here, so Max is being quite talkative. Stella. Like, related to what you felt in there? If he did, why wouldn't Dr. Kelly have it? Kanika. It makes much more sense if he just has a genetic condition. Assuming there isn't any foul play. Stella. Foul play? Kanika. The whole thing is just fishy, and after tonight, I feel like my fear of Dr. Kelly is a lot more justified than I thought. She's just... Stella. She's just overprotective. I'm sure that's all that's going on, and she has every right to be. I mean, the poor guy took 2 bites of food and got sick immediately. I can't imagine what that's like for both of them to go through. Kanika. Look, I'm just saying, maybe there's more to their dynamic than just him being sick, but it's not like there's much we can do about it right now. Stella. We could probably go back and forth on this for a while. Let's grab Gretchen and get going. The sun is setting, and we wouldn't want to miss a second of ghost action. Stella hurries off down the hill, almost as if to run away from what just happened. You and Kanika follow her down the slowly darkening street. Lit by the orange hues of the setting sun, the library feels different. What was once a quaint building in a small town now stands as an imposing structure, its walls holding something that stares back at you with menace. Maybe Stella is right. Maybe ghosts aren't real, and the rest of tonight is going to be a pleasant break from the events of the past few days. Mystical. But you know that's not the case. There's something old and powerful in there, and you can feel it stir as the sun sets and daylight fades away. You remain ominously silent. Enter the library. Just as its exterior was intimidating in the setting sun, the interior of the library is dark, its shadows deep and foreboding. The meet and greet with the mayor ended quite some time ago, and the throngs of visitors took whatever joy was in this place with them as they left. Stella. Hey, Oscar! Are you back yet? Kanika. Shh! You can't yell in a library! It's against the rules! Oh, fair enough. Welcome back, Spirit Chrysalis. Oh, and I totally forgot to clock the ditchlings in the bushes, yeah. Stella. It's after hours. Rules only apply before 5 p.m. Now it's our domain. Oscar. Hey, you're just in time. Rosalina's situated in the back room. Alexis is gonna keep her company while we hopefully get this all sorted out. I'd love for her to be able to sleep in her own bed tonight. Kanika. How is she doing? Oscar. She's not quite as chipper as she was when she was on stronger meds, but she's still doing surprisingly well. Alexis has been by her side nonstop. She's been a really good friend. Rosalina and I are both lucky to have her right now. Stella. I'm glad she's back home at least, and we'll be able to get her back into her real home in no time. I've come fully loaded. Got my EMF reader, temperature gauge, spirit box, infrared camera, UV light, video cameras, salt, flashlights for everyone in case the ghost messes with the electricity, parabolic microphone, Sharpies and paper for automatic writing, matches and candles for rituals. Gretchen. And you've got your spectre sniffing compatriot at your side too. This nose can sniff out any ne'er-do-well we might find, whether spirit or scoundrel. Stella. Oh, and a Ouija board. I know they're toys, but you never know what might come in handy. Kanika. Wow, this is a lot of ghost hunting stuff for something that was so last minute. Do you just have this stuff ready to go in a bug out bag or something? Stella. Of course I do. I actually stashed a couple bags here overnight after I got back from the mines. Oscar. Excuse me? Stella. I wasn't about to carry everything around all day. This way we can go in light and pop out to grab more stuff once things start getting spooky. Stella. I may never have found any compelling evidence of ghosts, but that's not for lack of trying, and after last night, I'm more than ready to try again. Ha! Box puppy. Chipper is a word for it. Saw another playthrough where the person's going to romance Oscar. If you do his hangout, you get to talk to Rosa on his phone, and she's loopy and on pain meds. That's fun. I mean, that's fun that that's like a thing. I haven't actually done Oscar's hangout. Someone has played Phasmophobia. Yeah, I could see that. Not me though. I'm not. I've seen a lot of people playing it, but I've seen a lot of people streaming it, but I have never clicked into those streams because I am not sure if I'm up for it. Phasmophobia seems scary. Anyway, Avery. Hey, hope I'm not too late. Have I missed any creepy paranormal stuff? Stella. Avery, glad you could make it. The more pairs of hands we have, the more equipment we can carry. Avery. Sure thing. Always happy to offer a hand or two. Kanika. Glad there will be someone else with a level head in there tonight. Avery. Whoa, is that an EMF reader? I've never seen one in person. Look at all this stuff. Spirit box, parabolic microphone. Y'all really covered all your bases. Kanika. Maybe I spoke too soon. Avery. You know me, Kanika. I'm as level-headed as they come. I'm just not ready to rule out weird paranormal stuff. When people tell me they saw a ghost, who am I to say they didn't? I mean, just last night y'all apparently saw some truly unexplainable stuff, so anything seems possible right now. Oh, hello, Donnie. Oh, fair enough. You have never found Phasmophobia scary, but... Oh, but it was easier last year before they added a year's worth of gameplay updates. Fair enough. But, like, I mean, on the other hand, John, I know you have a higher tolerance for scary than I do. I mean, mine is also higher than I think it is sometimes, so there's that, but... Anyway. Mystical. There's something back there. I can feel it. Stella. Really? This is so exciting! I can't wait to finally see a ghost! Kanika. Yeah, exciting's a word. Avery. As someone here for the thrill of being terrified, it's the word I'm here for. Oscar. We'll see how you two feel about it once things get started. Oh, fair enough. Phasmophobia is better played with friends so you can share in the suffering. Fair enough. Hey, Zane. Yo, don't go off ghost busting without Zane. No way I was gonna forget your promise, Stella. I've decided to give up on my attempt to do a stoner accent. Stella. Zane, glad you could make it. Zane. I was confronted with my own mortality for the first time yesterday, so I'm desperate for answers about the afterlife to ease my troubled mind. Now let's go mess with some ghosts. Gretchen. My oh my, this certainly is a lot of humans for one little ghost hunt. I do hope this means my dear Stella will be safe for this evening, and that whatever foul creatures lurk in the shadows choose to prey on someone else. Oh, that's another thing I've been looking forward to, is hearing what Gretchen might say in the possession scene. Oscar. I hope my house is big enough for 6 ghost hunters at once. If this is everyone, we can go ahead and get started. Let's through the back. Follow me. Pixel. Hey human! Kick ghost ass, okay? I missed my special treat. Aw, thanks, Pixel. You and your companions grab some equipment from one of Stella's carefully stashed bug-out bags before heading towards the junction, connecting Oscar's house and the library. Oscar. Looks like the sun has almost set. This is when stuff usually starts to kick off. I haven't been back inside for about a week, so I have no idea what to expect. Rosalina. Hey! You're not doing this without me. If there's a ghost, I want to see it with my own eyes. Alexis. Sorry, Mr. Gutierrez. I tried to stop her, but she was really convincing. Alexis. Continuing on to be Alexis. Oh, hi, Zane. What's up? Zane. Yo. Oscar. Rosalina. Let Oscar handle this. You decide it's best to let Oscar handle this. Rosalina. I've done enough resting, and it's not like hobbling around in the library is any different than hobbling around our house. I miss being there. I miss feeling home. Gretchen. Let the pup come. It's best to give her the chance to face her obstacles head on. Take it from an old soul like me. Oscar. You shouldn't be hobbling around at all. Just take it easy until you're more healed. Rosalina. I've got to learn to walk around eventually. Might as well start while I'm still on pain meds. And our house is 1 story. It's not like I'm climbing Everest. Oscar sighs. The doctors did say I should encourage you to practice walking. Okay, you can come along, but if you get tired or if it starts to hurt, you let me know right away. Rosalina. Thanks, Dad. Now let's get our house back. You all cross over the threshold and enter Oscar's living room. Family photos line the walls, and stacks of books sit comfortably on wooden furniture. Mystical. And there's that feeling again. Like the mines, like the door to the clinic. A dusty, suffocating, dizzying feeling. Something is in this house. Though whether it's a ghost or something worse, you aren't sure. Oscar. That's actually interesting that it's, that you'd be getting the same exact... Oh, no, it did make sense, because there is a carving. There is a carving in this house. I'd forgotten. Oscar. Okay, looks pretty normal for now. I don't remember that picture being on the floor, but that could be non-supernatural. Stella. None of my equipment is picking up anything around the picture. But I'll set up the camera in case it falls again. Could be important evidence. Oscar. You might want to save your cameras for Rosalina's room. That's where I've seen the ghost manifest. Oscar. I wonder if the... Oscar, continuing. I wonder if the ghost will even show with this many people around. Gretchen. Oh dear, could someone please warm the air back up? My joints are creaking in this dreadful chill. Oscar. Well, wait, is it just me or does it suddenly feel colder? You still want to know if the City Hall was built on top of the carving or the carving was put in City Hall? My impression was that this house that he's living in used to belong to the Shaws before they were run out of town. And, like, so it was always connected to the town hall, is my guess. Because it's not in the town hall, it's in the house that is connected to the town hall. Stella. It sure does. I definitely feel that. Avery. Same. I've got chills. Kanika. The temperature gun says it's actually a couple of degrees colder, but that's normal. Rooms and hallways are sometimes colder than other parts of the house. Zane. Whoa, a genuine cold spot. I gotta snap a pic for posterity. Rosalina. Is that it? This isn't very scary. You remain silent. Oh, I love those ones that are just like half a dozen options, and then it's just like, nah, stay quiet. Kanika. Don't antagonize it. I mean, if it exists. Not that I'm questioning you, spirit that may or may not haunt this house. Zane. Good save. You've totally confused the ghost with mind games. Avery. Maybe we should antagonize it. Might be a good way to figure out how to bust it, you know? Stella. Not a bad idea. Oscar, why don't you take the lead? What's the best way to confront the apparition? Oscar. Okay. Oscar takes a deep breath before continuing. Let's head to Rosalina's room. Follow me. Stella. Whoa. Oscar. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Gretchen. Do you mean this massive blood stain? It stinks to high heaven! Stella. Weird. I'm not getting anything. It's not even cold. It's the same temperature as the living room. Nothing on the EMF either. Oscar. Then your equipment is wrong. The stain is definitely paranormal. I've scrubbed it out too many times to count, and it just keeps coming back. Rosalina. It's just a stain, Dad. Can't we just cover it back up? I don't mind sleeping in here. Avery. Maybe we have to scrub it out first? Could that be the paranormal? Could it be? Could be that the paranormal stuff will activate if we give it a reason to. Stella. Oh, good idea. Oscar. If y'all are offering free carpet cleaning, be my guest. Oh, both of those are good options. Alright, I actually need a quick... I was gonna try to get all the way up to the scene where it transitions, but I gotta pee. So I will be right back. I am back. So I do that sometimes. I click on the wrong overlay. Alright. Okay, so do we say that it's trying to send a message, or do we say that Gretchen says it's a bloodstain? Oof. Okay. I do like... I'm not going to say this as Max, but I think y'all are focusing too much on cleaning the stain and not enough on what it's made of, which is blood! Which is a good... But yeah, okay, so I want to pick either the Talk to Animals or Mystic. I think I'm gonna default Max more towards animals than Mystic. Gretchen says it's a bloodstain. Stella. Ghost blood. Kanika. Or it's just a rusty pipe leaking all over your floor. I think that'd be a bigger problem than what Max and Stella are suggesting. Avery. I don't know. Ghost blood sounds pretty intense. Kanika. Have y'all tried ripping up the carpet to see what's causing the stain? Oscar. The government owns this house. There's no way I'm leaving a big red stain on their carpet. I made sure it was pristine every morning. Besides, I also kind of assumed it was ghost blood, which it is. Stella. What if there's something written under there? Only one way to be sure. Stella excitedly starts tugging at the corner of the carpet. Gretchen. Are we digging? Let me help! This is my area of expertise, after all. Oscar. Oh dear. Kanika. You're doing the government a favor, really. Avery. We'll cover for you. You don't have to sweat it. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, and the floor around it stained in reddish brown. Alexis. What if there isn't a ghost after all? What if somebody lives down there? Rosalina. Okay, maybe I don't want to sleep in here. Oh my god, I do still love the nope option. But yeah, no, Max is just gonna be like... You remain silent in the face of this new discovery. Probably, like, internally screaming nope, but silent. Avery. Whoa, a hidden hatch. Stella. This is even better than finding a message. Oscar. But there's no basement in this house. At least we weren't told about a basement. Stella. And look, all the red stuff is coming from underneath. Oh yeah, this is super haunted, alright. You've got a basement chock full of ghosts. I can just feel it. Avery. Still no readings, though. None of the equipment has made a sound. Kanika. Of course not. Y'all know last month was super rainy. It's clearly been a long time since anyone stepped foot in that basement or crawl space or whatever it is under that hatch. There must be a leak that flooded the whole area under the house. The water dissolved the caulk around the edge and leaked through to the carpet, and it's red because North Carolina has red-ass dirt. It's as simple as that. Oscar. It's not mud, it's blood. Human blood. I tested it. Kanika. Maybe you tested it wrong? It can't be blood, right? Rosalina. Whatever it is, I need to know what's down there. I need to know what's been under my bed all these years. Stella. Yeah, there's an old hatch in the floor that someone tried to seal up. We're not leaving until we've explored every nook and cranny. I'm gonna just save here because it's a major transition point. Kanika. Have you considered that they may have tried sealing it up because it's unsafe? Zane. Uh-oh. Do you think the flooding could have made the house unstable? I'm all in on ghost hunting, but I don't know if I could crawl into another dangerous crevice. Stella. I'm going for it. T'Pau, you are not wrong. Oh, child, though you do not need to know. To Rosalina, and time to go on a trip. I'm actually going to save here. Just to double check, because we are kind of hitting a natural transition point of the chapter. Are folks still willing to stay up with me to finish this chapter? It's just because it's getting a little late. I just want to check that I'm not, like, keeping folks up unreasonably so. If folks need to get to bed, I can put a pause on this and pick it up again next week. Indeed, the sort of trip that LSD brings. Oh, thank you, Spirit Chrysalis. Oh, and also thank you, Box Puppy. Okay, let's do this! Stella says, I'm going for it. Whee! You come to in Oscar's living room. You can't tell what time it is, and your friends are nowhere in sight. At least, physically, this is Oscar's living room. And I do notice that that painting is gone. I don't know if there's any relevance whatsoever to the painting, but it's gone. At least, physically, this is Oscar's living room. Spiritually and mentally, you've been ripped away to some other place. The building feels colder, and there's something about the air that feels wrong. It's stale, with an undercurrent of mold and earth. You feel claustrophobic, as though you're in a coffin, each breath depleting what little oxygen is left. I'm gonna look for my friends in Rosalina's room. Whatever just happened was weird, but your friends are probably still in Rosalina's room. You head further into the house. Welp! Oh. Spirit Chrysalis, welcome to the second half of Chapter 3. Oh, something has gone wrong here. We see a little ditchling friend. I like the ditchlings, that's why they're in my background. Get out, house has a labyrinth, you got witches. Fair. Oh, alright. Something isn't right. It feels like a late summer afternoon. The air is warm and wet, and the scent of flowers drifts on the breeze. Jesus fuck, I forgot. Literally, we talked about jump scares, and yet I still managed to forget. I do think it's worse when you're the player than when you're watching it, but Jesus, that just... oh. Whew, whew. It was at this point that he knew that he had fucked up. Indeed, Box Puppy. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Her little dog. Oh! Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know why that is the thing that gets me going. I don't fucking like it, but talk to animals should not have the dog saying bark, bark, woof, bark. That's so creepy. It's because the ghost can't speak to animals, and so Gretchen is not home right now. Oh my gosh. So I think what's happening is that they're both possessed. We do know that for a fact from somewhat later on. And I think what has just happened, I've never seen possessed with Stella, with Gretchen, with someone who can speak to animals. And the ghost can't speak to animals, and the ghost is puppeting people. And so the first thing that you hear being the dog saying bark, bark, woof, bark is like, you know immediately something is wrong when you can talk to animals. I love that. That is such a cool effect. I've been wanting to know what would happen with talk to animals in this scene with Gretchen. So, you step in, and her little dog says, bark, bark, woof, bark. The lover. Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Incidentally, these headers, the lover and everything, the ones that are not their usual names, I'm pretty sure you only get those if you're Mystic. So, the lover. Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Okay, and here is where Max, yeah, I like the image that Max just goes like what Box Puppy was saying before. Yes, I'm sorry the drivable PC isn't in right now. If you'd like to leave your name and the number at the tone. Yes, exactly. So there is a bit which we realized through Tapau's run is when you choose the mystical options here, it is you are basically channeling the presence and saying what they would have said at that time. So I liked Box Puppy's visual image before of like, this is going to be the most Max is ever going to speak in one go for sure, and the mental image of like his eyes just go white and he is just in full on channel mode. Eddie, it's Charlie. And you'll note, it doesn't say Max is saying that, it says the presence is saying that. So, although Max's voice is the one speaking, it is the presence. The presence is speaking through him, so. The lover. Did you say Eddie? No one's called me that in a long time. It's Edwardine now. I'm not a child anymore. There are other mystical options, but now I'm going for full channeling. The presence. It has been a long time, hasn't it? I wasn't sure I was ever going to come back, but I'm glad I did. It's good to see you. The lover. I wish I could say the same. You should have stayed gone, and you absolutely shouldn't have shown up here of all places. If you're caught, I don't think you understand what Father might do. Come, the presence. Come with me, Eddie. Haven't you always wanted to see the coast? Now's your chance. We can just leave. Her little dog. Arf, arf. 11. I can't. It's not that easy for me. My brothers were sent to the Western Front, and now I'm the only Scarlet left besides Father. I have responsibilities, Charlie. Oh, I was gonna just... Oh no, game, why would you make me choose here? Why would you make me choose? Because I was fully prepared to go full channel mode, and just, so the thing, if Max stays channeling, you know what? This is a game. I get to control the character. My headcanon is that first, so I'm going to choose the other option, but my headcanon is that Max, although we don't actually get to see him do it, oh, no, on the other hand, that's actually a pretty crucial line for a full, yeah, no, go full channel. But I want to say, okay, you know what? We have a solution for this. It's called the quick save bar, where I save things that I want to poke at to see what other options are. Okay, I have a quick save there. I can look at it later. Full channel mode, I agree to Pow. Like, I don't think it's actually Gretchen, so... I think you're right, it's not actually Gretchen, so I think that won't actually get me anything anyway. But I can poke at it later, out of curiosity. Probably Gretchen can't actually talk to you right now, the same way Stella can't actually talk to you right now. Mystical. Screw your family, the presence says. Screw your family. Screw my family. Why are we letting the choices made by our fathers destroy our lives too? The lover. You should just get out of town while you still can. Whatever you came back for, it's not worth it. The presence. You're right. What I came back for isn't worth it. But you are. I won't leave the holler without you. If you change your mind, I'll be around. She's gone, along with the shadow in the corner of the room. You're alone again in this strange garden. Follow! No way out but forward! Yeah, Spirit Chrysalis. Yeah, I think you're both right that actually if I were to ask Gretchen, I'm not actually going to get a response from Gretchen, so yeah, full channel mode. You move to follow the narrow path through the foliage. As you step forward, a single door, standing solitary in the middle of the garden, appears before you. No way out but forward. Let's go in the door. You walk up to the door and open it. Bells ring as a cacophony rages outside. Quick aside, and I know it's kind of a terrible time to do it with the particularly chaotic noises, but So we've mentioned that there was a mine collapse for Spirit Chrysalis' sake. There was a mine collapse in like 1918, and the Scarlet family runs the mine, but they blamed this guy Charles Shaw, who was helping to run the mine. So for all of this time, everyone has believed that what it is that Charles Shaw allowed not low quality wood to be used in the mine, and that caused the collapse, and it was a huge tragedy. But with Mystical, when you're in the mines in the previous chapter, you actually get to see a vision that shows that it wasn't Charles Shaw after all. It was absolutely one of the Scarlets that was like, and Charles Shaw tried to be like, are you sure? I don't think we should use this wood. And the Scarlet, whichever Scarlet it is like, nope, can't. Too much money to change it out now. It'll be fine, use the wood. And so the Shaws became unfortunate scapegoats. Enoch Scarlet. And just saying, that story is maybe a little bit relevant to know here. At the very least, anyone playing this game at this point would have heard about the Shaw mine collapse and how it was totally Charles Shaw's fault. Only Mystic really has the full story at this point, usually. In fact, Enoch Scarlet's brother died in the mine collapse, which made it easier for him to excuse the fact that to make clear it clearly wasn't him. And oh, that did leave him the heir, didn't it? That's an interesting point to Pow. I wonder if he maybe wasn't terribly sad that his brother died in the mining accident. Yeah, I agree. That is sus as hell, Box Puppy. Alright, so, relevant bit of information imparted. Bells ring as a cacophony rages outside. The door in front of you pulsates as figures unseen bang against it. The shaded figure from the garden sits in the corner, ever so slightly more defined. That one. Oh, right, and the other thing is, they literally ran Charles Shaw out of town on rails. And the other thing is... Oh, greed is the seal in the mine. Oh, that's so cool, Box Puppy. The other thing that we know is that the mine totally did not have a union and totally had unsafe working practices, and there were literal children in the mine the day it collapsed. 10 years old. So it's pretty shitty, but it's kind of relevant to some of this conversation, so I feel like it's useful information to have. Bells ring as a cacophony rages outside. The door in front of you pulsates as figures unseen bang against it. The shaded figure from the garden sits in the corner, ever so slightly more defined. Oh, hello. The mother. Junior! Junior, pack your things! Quickly, hurry! The mob. Maybe we should run him out on a rail too. Make an example of the whole family. Mama, what's going on? The mother. Please, he's only a child. We'll leave peacefully, just give us a little time. The mom. They were only children too. My boy was in there. Why should I give Junior here all the time in the world to gather his little toys and fancy clothes? My boy didn't have that kind of luxury. Mama, what's the man talking about? Why hasn't Daddy come home yet? Mother. Don't listen to him, Charlie. Just keep packing. The mom. Looks like the others are on their way. Better hurry, boy, or you and your little dolls here might get burned up. And as for you, lady, what makes you think you're gonna be keeping any of those valuables you're packing in that fine suitcase of yours? Daddy said when he's not here, I'm the man of the house, so you don't get to push us around, mister. I'll call the police. Mom. Trust me, boy. The coppers ain't coming here tonight. And what makes you think that you can talk to an adult like that? Maybe they should have had you working in the mines too, instead of lazing up around in this big house. Oh. Oh no, Spirit Chrysalis. Just seeing. Sorry. Just catching up on the. There's. Nope. it was a time period where that was normal to not have, well, okay, sure, to not have unions, sure, but to have 10-year-olds working in your mine, maybe a little less so. And yes, Johnny One Take, on a literal rail. Looks like Fox Puppy already answered you. Spirit Chrysalis, I'm so sorry I didn't notice that you got caught by ads. Thank you to Pow for trying to bring it to my attention. In fact, and so yeah, Tapao also responded on the Rails thing, and Spirit Chrysalis, what you have probably missed, if I'm guessing roughly when the ad started, is, although other people might actually be able to fill it in better, is basically you have had the mother speaking to the presence, who is you, who is clearly her child, trying to be like, hurry, pack your things, while the mob, who is being played by Alexis, is like, and you know, why should we let your kid pack all his things? Maybe he should have been working out. You know, my boy didn't have that opportunity. He was working in the mines when it collapsed. And stuff like that, so. Yeah, fair. That was before child labor laws were a thing. But. Yeah, no, you're right, Johnny One Take. But it still was implied that it was somewhat unusual to have kids that young working in mines. That the Shaw mine was kind of still a holdout that was behind the times, even at its time. So, alright, Spirit Crystals, I hope that that has covered, so she was saying, pack your things, Junior. Junior was like, what's happening, Mama? Where's Daddy? And then the mob was like, you know, why should we let him pack his things? You know, my boy didn't get any consideration. He was in the mines. He died in the mines today. And then the kid's like, I'm the man of the house. You can't talk to us like that. And that's where we bring up. Okay, cool. Yes, you're good. Sorry, I was overcompensating, but that's totally understandable for the Spirit Chrysalis. And you know, if you do have to head out, that is totally understandable. And thank you for having been here as much as you have. Anyway, so the mob says, trust me, boys. The coppers ain't coming here tonight. What makes you think you can talk to an adult like that? Oh, yeah, maybe they should have had you working in the mines, too, instead of lazing around in this big house. Maybe you would have learned a thing or two about respecting your elders. Mother, don't talk to my son like that. The mom, don't talk to me like that, woman. I call the shots. Now get out, unless you want to go jump in flames with all your precious jewels and expensive dresses. You're lucky I'm even letting you leave. But I don't want to go. I haven't packed all my puppets. Oh, that's what they were talking about with the dolls. I haven't said goodbye to Eddie. I don't want to leave. The mother. It's okay, Charlie. You can make new ones, even better than these. The mom. It's good for him. Shouldn't be playing with dolls anyway. Now you're gonna have to earn your keep just like the rest of us, boy. No more big inheritance for you. The mother and the mob are whisked away, leaving you behind in an empty room. As they depart, the front door stops pounding and opens into a beckoning white void. Before you have the chance to think, another door creaks open on what you thought was the ceiling. Wait, there you are. This is quite the maze, isn't it? And absolutely crawling with these miserable little parasites. It's late enough in the stream that I'm having trouble doing the voice for Wayne's. A little, scratchy. Yeah. Wayne. Bottom feeders. So, yeah, Wayne just, like, squished a ditchling. Alright. I don't like either of those options. I think I'm gonna pick talk, but not because Max actually plans to talk, so much as because Max plans to listen. Although I do like nope as a thing to say. You remain silent. Wait, paralyzed with fear. You'll learn to get over it if you ever want to get out of here. As he approaches, a smell hits you. Sweating, suffocated flesh with a tinge of the saccharine and stomach-churning scent of decay. Speaking of people who I'm quite sure are dead. I'm quite sure Wayne is dead. Wayne. Shall we find the end of this little maze? Oh, that's interesting. I really wonder what would happen if I ran into the black void. Like, the white void would obviously be the way out, but maybe this will just be another thing I just say there. Anyone have an opinion on stepping into the white void versus attempting to run into the black void? Because I'm genuinely struggling to make a decision here. Mostly because I want to see if anything interesting happens if you run into the black void, but if nothing interesting does happen, then I don't know if it will have been worth it. Then again, if nothing interesting does happen, it'll just progress me in the story, right? So... yeah, let's do it! Let's do it! You're not friends with this guy. You hurry towards the door he entered from, closing your eyes so as to not think about the impossibilities of the room. As you feel the door in your hands, hurl yourself over the threshold and slam it behind you. Yeah, alright. Okay, fair enough, Spirit Chrysalis. Good night! Yeah, no, this game is amazing. So one thing to note, it is not finished, but like Chapter 4 will be coming out later this year, and it's just such a cool game, it's super worth it anyway. Like, super worth it. Cannot recommend highly enough. Good night! Alright, okay, I guess... wait, maybe the other version would have let me keep hanging out with Wayne, because this implies this was the run away from Wayne option? Oh gosh, and apparently Chapter 4 is much longer than Chapter 3, so lots more game content will be dropping later this year. No, because what I want to do is... I try to make a policy against this most of the time, but I just want to know... You walk past him and into the white void. Does it bring me to the same place? Same place, same situation, nothing has changed. Alright. Fair enough. I'm just kind of put out that actually I checked and that choice meant very little in the end. Which is, like, unusual. This game usually has your choices mean a fair bit, but... and I mean, maybe it means something later. Yeah, I'll stick with the white one. I don't want to, like, go back and change it again, so I'll stick with stepping through the white void. You're outside and it's night, a false moon looming massively in the painted sky. Wayne is gone. The night feels thick and warm, the insects lively, their calls unnaturally tinny. Everything feels warped and wrong, like you're listening to a record fished from the bottom of a pond. Unless your eyes are playing tricks on you, the shadow in the corner keeps getting closer. Yeah, the shadow in the corner being, I think, the witch. Speaking of witches... You poor dear, I've been keeping track of you, scuttling around town like a tomcat. You've fallen hard for Miss Edwardine, haven't you? The presence. Back off, lady. I don't know you, and if you know what's good for you, you don't know me either. Witch. There's no need to be embarrassed. Your secret is safe with me. You know, I never did approve of what the Scarlets did to your family, and what it did to the two of you young'uns. Childhood sweethearts. Just think how lovely it would be if you could just be happy together. That's what you want, isn't it? Don't talk about my family, and I don't need life advice from some old broad. The witch. I'm sure by now you've realized the young lady doesn't plan on leaving with you, but it's not for lack of desire, as you well know. It's Enoch. Even if you dragged her over the town limits, his hold over her would make sure neither of you were ever happy again. Just think of what happened to your poor mother and father. Do you want that to be the two of you? The presence. We would never be like them. We love each other. My mother just loved his money. As soon as it was gone, so was she. And then all he loved was booze. Me and Eddie aren't like that. Oh, Mystic is why Kanika got this part. That makes a lot of sense. Which, the powers at work here are stronger than even your love could withstand. You need to break the bonds holding her here. Then you can both go free. misfortune. Not for you, not for anyone else bold enough to step foot outside the hall. The witch mimes handing you something, though her hand is empty. Everything you need to know is on that map. Presence. I don't understand. Is this a map and some kind of poem? The witch. That's where you'll find them. You need her there, then read what I've written down. And be careful. Good luck to the both of you. I hope you get your happiness. And then she's gone. Wayne. It's trying to get rid of me. It'll have to try harder. Yeah. Oh, I kind of want to... When I'm not playing this as Max, or like maybe I will just on my own do this. It will load it over this. Yes. I will poke at more of the options here. I'm sorry to be doing... In fairness, there are black characters who are not mystical, and there are also mystical characters who are not black. So, like, I think that the way to avoid a stereotype is to have high diversity, and one way you can avoid a stereotype is by having enough diversity that it is not your only representation of that particular form of diversity. So I do think this game has succeeded at that. Alright, so I kind of want to ask all of these questions, but I think Max does not, and Max just wants to wait and see what Wayne has to say. You remain silent. Wayne. Come along now. There's still a ways to go before we rid ourselves of this pest. Okay, I think he can work his way up to asking one question. So we'll have Max ask, what are you? Wayne. I'm a friend. You continue forward through the uncanny underbrush. Once again, you find yourself separated and alone. A long wooden corridor stands before you, littered with bottles and rails. A figure rises to attention, blocking your way. The caretaker. I'm afraid he doesn't have long. If there's anything you need to say to him, I'd say it now. As the caretaker is swept away, the room pulls itself to you, and you find yourself looming over a deathbed. The father lies in its center, looking pitifully small. The father. I'm sorry, boy. Sorry I let my troubles drive your mama away, and sorry those troubles mean I'm leaving you all alone now. The presence. You're getting what you deserve. Father. Damn it, Junior. How many times do I have to tell you? I tried to stop it from happening, but that damned snake Enoch went behind my back. The presence. Not for that. For what you did to our family. We could have just started over someplace new, but instead you became the son of a bitch the Scarlets made you out to be. Are we sure she's the only other mystic? Because, I mean, at the very least, Sybil is. And so there's Sybil and Kanika, and then there's the player Kenby, and the player is definitionally at least half white. You can decide whatever you want about the player's father, but, like, the Scarlets are white, so that is one way to guarantee that you have a white mystic. But also, I'm totally willing to believe that there could be other characters who have the mystical trait that we just haven't met yet. Or haven't found out what their traits are. Oh, depending on the player's trait, the only mystic in the room for the ghost to pick. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I was getting it mixed up with Tipau's comment about there being only one mystic. And I'm like, well, yes, there was only one mystic in the ghost hunting team. And since the player was never going to be dragged into... There was only one mystic, and aside from the player, and the player doesn't count, nor does Tabitha, because of the ghost needing to show things to the player and or Tabitha. So, yeah, fair enough. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna get some content. The father. You're right. I've been using that excuse for too many years. At a certain point, a man has to accept when he's dug his own grave. They may have run me out, but they didn't put the bottle in my hand. Still. They destroyed our legacy, boy. Both our names are cursed with that history. I'll be dead and gone soon, but I won't be able to rest. Not until our name is cleared. Not until you can pass on this name with pride. This is my only request, Charlie. Go back there. Tell people the truth. Try to find proof. I don't know what you'll have to do, but please. I know I ain't been the best father, but I'm no murderer. I do like one of the options. I'm guessing this request didn't really pan out. The presents. I'll see what I can do. Get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning. Father. Damn it, boy. I may not have until the morning. Promise me you'll go back, and at the very least show that Enoch bastard what for. The presents. I promise. I'll go back. Bye! You watch as the father's body seizes and falls through the sheets, taking the rattling pile of bottles with him. Wayne. Such theatrics. What a waste of time. Why force you to see any of this? People always think their own experiences are so important. But what does any of it matter? Quietly leave. You move back to the bed to quietly leave through the hole the father left behind and crawl through. Wayne. It shouldn't be hard to find you again. You find yourself pressed uncomfortably against a trellis. A small castle sits off to one side of the wall, and the bars of a prison loom over both of it. Over both all of it and all of you. The entity. Climbing up the trellis again. How very Romeo and Juliet of you. No need to run off. I won't tell the old man. Though you've gotten sloppy, you should try to be more careful if you don't want him putting you in an early grave. Yeah, I mean, yes, Max, yes, player, yes, mystical option. I would also like to know what the hell is the entity? But we're channeling the presence. Who are you? Are you one of Eddie's brothers? I thought they were dead. The entity. No, not one of her brothers. I'm a prisoner. Another victim of the Scarlet's lies. Like you, Charles Shaw. So my current theory is that that's just straight up a demon that Enoch Scarlet summoned and somehow managed to trick into, straight up lied about something and trapped them here. Maybe, made a promise, and maybe the promise was to free them, actually. And Enoch was like, nah. Did I say I was gonna free you? You must be mistaken. I'm not doing that. That's my guess. The presence. I'm not him. The entity. A mere generation makes no difference. His blood runs in your veins, does it not? And now, it runs in hers. Yes, it seems your little trysts bore fruit. And oh, will you ever be in trouble when the old man finds out. The presence. How do you know that? Who are you? The entity. You know, you don't have to keep dangling there. Come inside. You'll be able to hear me through the door just fine. The world around you swirls, and you find yourself pulled to the other side of the wall. A door, bound by countless locks and chains, pulsates before you. Presence. There are so many logs. I can't free you if that's what you're after. The Entity. That's not what I invited you in for. I couldn't escape even with your help. I merely wanted to offer a warning. Leave town now. The Presence. Absolutely not. I'm not leaving without her, especially if what you say is true. The Entity. You can't take her with you. It's not possible. You can always stay and die, but if I were you, I would use my healthy legs and run as far away from Scarlet Hollow as possible. I hear the beaches are nice. Why don't you take a permanent vacation there? They do mention the beaches a lot. The Presence. You're wrong. I know it's possible. I have that weird map. I have the spell or whatever it is. Me and her are gonna get out of here. The Entity. Ah, you've been talking to the witch then. How very interesting. The Lover. Charlie, get away from the door. Don't listen to it. The Presence. Eddie, are you pregnant? The Lover. How does it know that? Wait. Interesting interpretation. What does Wayne mean, interesting interpretation? Is Wayne the Entity? I have so many questions. So many questions. You remain silent. Wait. Come along then. I get the feeling we're nearly at the end of this little maze. Wayne disappears into the dark corridor. You follow close behind. For the first time, you and Wayne enter a new room at the same time, the two of you finding yourselves huddled under a large table. The Lover stares through you as indecipherable murmurs and shuffling feet echo from the ends of the table. Her first little dog. Yap, yap, yap! The Lover. They're so lovely. Are you sure I can keep one? You must have worked very hard on them. The Presence. Of course, it's a present. When you look at it, you can remember all the fun we've had. Wait. Just let the scene play out. There's no use trying to communicate, whether with the Resident or your little friends. It's cool, Wayne. I'm on it. Have you not noticed? You've been following me this whole time, Wayne. Have you not noticed I've been doing nothing but channel? The Lover. I'll try to keep it away from my brothers so they don't smash it. Though I wish I could make it move like you can. And you can even do the voices. You know, you could probably make real money if you put on a show for people. Presence. That's the plan. I want to be a traveling performer. Why don't you come with me? We can go from town to town, putting on shows for other kids. Wayne. Please, don't engage with it while I try to find another door. The Lover. A traveling show? And you'd want me there too? Oh, we could go to towns along the beach. Could we go to towns along the beach? I've heard the Outer Banks are the most beautiful place in the world. The beaches! Either the Entity or Enoch. Interesting. Interesting. Box Puppy. I never have considered him being Enoch. But one of those two, yeah, I could see it. The Presence. Of course, we can go anywhere you want. The Lover. Thank you, Charlie. I've always wanted to see the ocean. Why is wanting to see the ocean, like, embedded in the scarlet blood? Everything crashes to a thunderous black before you or Wayne can get in another word. Oh, hello, Charlie. Glad to see you be terrible to my friends. And by glad to, I mean F you jerk. A single spotlight remains, illuminating a trapdoor in the center of the stage. You feel drawn to it. It opens. You feel a shove from behind and tumble through the hatch. Oh, hello, other seal. Charlie. It took some digging, but it's there. The map was right. That means there's hope, Eddie. Whatever it is that Enoch did, we can undo it. We can be happy together. Charlie. Eddie? So, yeah. Wayne is gone once again. There's nothing here but you and the howling wind. Stella. Do you repent? Kanika. Do you repent for your crimes? Mystical. For the first time tonight, you recognize the names of your companions. Does this mean that the Resonant has grown weaker, or is this yet another part of its act? These are all things to say, but this is Max. He's just gonna let it continue. You let the spirit continue. Oscar. You must answer for the crimes committed by your Scarlet blood. Avery. Until you do, I cannot die. Rosalina. I want to die. Please. I have been alone in the dark for so long. Kanika. All I ask for is for some of your years. Stella. To pay for the years that were taken from me. Alexis. My life was stolen from me. Avery. I want some of yours. Stella. It's only fair. Oscar. The sins of the father. Rosalina. Are to be laid upon the children. Kanika. Forfeit your years, and I will finally leave. Mystical. You can't actually make me do anything, can you? Stella. I can keep you here. Nika. And I can do whatever I want with them. Alexis. You can refuse. Rosalina. But if you do... Oscar. Then I will stay. Avery. I will stay until I get what I'm owed. Kanika. The sentence has been handed down. Stella. Make your choice. A smell hits you. That now familiar, wet, unwell odor. Wayne. What an annoying pest you are. But you couldn't keep me out for long. It seems we've exhausted its power. Holding all these bodies hostage must have been quite taxing. Come along, Max. It's desperate, but it has no power over you. There's no need to bow to the will of such a frayed and broken consciousness. Leave it to fester. Yeah, I guess it's only Booksmart that you can actually lure your way out. Alright. I want to say... I'm gonna say... But I can't just leave the ghost here. Wait, you can. Yeah, Max is gonna be like, no, but what about? Like, I know he doesn't normally talk, but this seems like a situation where he's like, no, I need to know all the details. What about my friends? What happens to them if I just leave? Wait, they've already left. They're not a factor in this. Where will... Why would Wayne know that? I'm sorry. Max probably shouldn't have asked that. Max is just cycling, clearly. Where will Oscar and Rosalina live if the ghosts stay? Wayne, don't give years of your life for something so insignificant. Fair point, honestly. Wayne's making a good point. I do like the screw this sins of the father crap. I don't know this ghost a thing. I like the book smart option here, where you get to be like, lawyer your way out of it. Like, dude, you're the one who said screw your family. And screw hers. Like, don't do sins of the father. You know dang well. Yeah, there's lots of things that I could say here, but I've already said way too much for Max. So Max says, let's just go. Wayne, you don't need my help. Close your eyes. Feel for the stairs. You close your eyes. You fumble in the darkness, reaching out your hands and grasping the air until your palm finds wood. It's the staircase. You can feel it under your hands. You begin your ascent. Wayne, good. You've made it out of the pit. His overpowering smell returns as you place a confident foot on the wooden floor of what you assume must be Rosalina's room. You open your eyes as you try to hold your breath. Oh, interesting. You feel a hand on your back. You shudder, knowing what it's attached to. This is really interesting that you're getting this overlay. Wayne, don't fall for it. Keep feeling your way forward. You continue. You feel the doorframe under your palm, and then the sturdy walls of the hallway beyond. Ah, I see. So the ghost is trying to keep you in the weird world, but it can't. Wayne's palm continues to gently urge you forward. You stumble into the corridor between the annex and the library. The real world is swimming back into focus. Wayne. Good. The main doors are just ahead. Oh, that was kind of showing where all the different scenes were happening in the real house. You feel a shove as Wayne pushes you forward. You fall towards the entrance, your legs still unsure of the ground beneath you, and the doors fly open. I like that. The sins of the father shall not be visited upon the son, as the achievement I just unlocked is shall not be visited upon the son. I do not believe in sins of the father. I think that's total bullshit. Like, children don't get to choose their parents. Like, they should not be responsible for their parents' sins. You're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blows small piles of dried leaves across the steps of the library. Wayne, you made the right choice. It would have been so easy to fall for its tricks. I'm proud that you did. Be seeing you. He leaves before you can say anything in response. Kanika. Thank God you made it out, Max. I went to get Mom when I realized you hadn't left the library with the rest of us. I figured if anyone knew what to do, it'd be her. Sybil. I see someone beat me to the punch. It sounds like you've had quite the evening. Avery. My bones weren't meant to bend like that. I'm gonna be hurting for a few days at least. Oscar. Rosalina's pain meds are in there. I hope Dr. Kelly is still awake. We'll need replacements right away, especially after everything that just happened. And we'll have to figure out where we're going to stay. Oh God, this was such a disaster. Alexis. You and Rosalina could always stay with us, Mr. Gutierrez. Oscar. That's a very kind offer, Alexis, but I'm afraid the stairs would be too much for Rosalina. And I wouldn't want to impose on your parents like that. It's a lot to ask. I can figure this out. Okay, so these are all, like, justifications. So there's the, oh no, I regret my decision. There's, I hope you're not mad at me. There's, I can justify this because the impending doom coming to the town needs me at my best. There's, we need to regroup and think about our options. I wasn't about to make a deal like that in the heat of the moment. There's also just the straight up, sorry, I just didn't think I could handle the uncertainty of an early death hanging over for me for the rest of my life. I couldn't trust that ghost to uphold its end of the deal. I wasn't about to give up part of my life for a house. I wasn't about to give up part of my life to make amends for something I didn't do. And those are all really valid. In my opinion, actually, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, you shouldn't have to offer anything. Ugh. Yeah, anyway. That's why I love the book smart option. You just convince the ghost, like, just move on, dude. Just move on. Yeah, anyway, there are many, many, many things I could say here. Like, closer to a dozen than half a dozen. Oh, I hit the back button again. However, what I'm actually gonna do is say nothing. You remain silent. Kanika, are you sure you can't take up Alexis's offer? Oscar sighs. Oscar, you're right. Zane, I'm gonna peace out. Back-to-back encounters with my own mortality. I've got a lot to ponder. See ya, Rosalina! See ya, Alexis! Zane walks off down the road. Avery, to think ghosts are actually real. Stella's got to be over the moon right now. Kanika, actually, wait, where is Stella? Oh, she's just standing there, by herself. That isn't like her. You know what? I'm gonna go talk to Stella, because it's like, I'm not gonna say anything if I can help it, but Max is going to go try to be a comforting presence. Although I guess he does have to verbalize that. I'm gonna go check in with her. You walk over to Stella. Gretchen, I've never seen anything like what we saw tonight. Absolutely dreadful, and I don't think my dear Stella's having an easy time with it. Stella. Oh, hey, Max. Okay, I do have to choose something to say. It's Max, so he's going to say the thing that is the least words. You okay? Stella. Sorry, I can't talk right now. See you later. You know, it's interesting, because Stella's things were powerful build and street smart, right? Street smart means that she's very good at lying. She hurries off down the road. You remain silent. Kanika, should we go after her? Sybil, she's a strong girl. She's had to grapple with a lot of turmoil in her life. She can handle an evening like this. All of you should be taking after Stella right now, to be honest. You've all been through something awful, and each and every one of you needs rest. Especially you, Kanika. We don't want that cold of yours to get any worse. Oscar. God, what a disaster this whole night has been. I had no idea it would turn out like this. I'm so sorry, everyone. Rosalina. Stop apologizing, Dad. We're the ones who don't have a house anymore. We don't even have the library. Yeah, I think since there isn't a remain silent option here, I am going to apologize. I'm really sorry, Oscar. I'm really sorry, Rosalina. Oscar. It's okay. Worse things have happened to people, and the price was just too high. We'll find a way to pick things up. Rosalina. I know you did everything you could for us, Max. It probably was smart not to trust that ghost anyway. Kanika. You won't have to do it alone, Oscar. You can help yourself to whatever you need from the store. Avery. Yeah, I'm sure Aunt Winnie and I can help out too. Sybil. This is a good town full of good people, Max. We won't let this ruin Oscar. Yeah, alright. I'm feeling very confident in my choice to not give up years of life. I guess I should probably head back. Oscar. We should probably get going too. It's starting to get chilly out, and I don't want to keep Alexis's parents up too late. Sybil. I'll be over later tonight with some bedding and hot tea, and I'll have Miles bring you groceries in the morning. Oh gosh. Don't be a stranger, and let us know if you need anything, okay? I believe it's time for me to get my daughter home as well. Kanika. But... Sybil. Kanika, dear, you haven't been feeling well. You need to get some rest. Kanika. Okay. Kanika wearily treks back to the general store. Sybil. I'll be back in a moment to walk you home, dear. I just need to put the tea on and give your cousin a quick call. Sybil leaves you and catches up to her daughter. Kanika. My whole body hurts. Mom, what was that? And I want a better answer than a ghost. Sybil. You'll be alright. Let me get you some of that special tea. It's been working well, don't you think? Kanika. I think ibuprofen would be better, but I gotta admit, the tea has been nice. Poor Stella. Yeah, poor Stella indeed, to Pow. Sybil. I'll put the kettle on as soon as we get home. Avery. I guess it's just the two of us now. Yeah. I think I've hit the point where Max has done enough talking to Avery to be comfortable talking to Avery. Relative speaking to his relative comfort of talking. So I'm going to do not all of the talking options, but a little more than Max would with anyone else. And mostly only because they're alone. Do you have any idea who you were? I could roughly place most of the others. Avery. None whatsoever, but I remember everything I said, and I remember that cold feeling. Prisoner of the Scarlets. I wonder what your family was up to back then. I guess we can add it to the ever-growing pile of mysteries. Alright, and then I'm gonna just be like, do you regret coming along tonight? Avery. Look, that was a horrible experience that will stick with me for the rest of my days. And we failed to get rid of the ghost. But failure has a way of bringing people together, and hey, I got genuinely possessed back there. How many people can say they were possessed by a ghost? I guess I'll see you around. Avery. Yeah, I should probably get going. I'm supposed to have a shift tomorrow morning. I might have to call in sick, but here's hoping a good night's sleep is enough to heal up. Avery heads off, leaving the square in front of the library empty. Sybil returns not long after Avery leaves. It's time to go back to the estate. Sybil. Your cousin wasn't exactly thrilled to hear about what happened tonight, but I think I blunted her anger as much as I could. Shall we? Oh, I think that's nice that Sybil walks you back. Like, you know, without Tabitha there to drive you. You once again find yourself on the long trek back up to the estate. The night feels cold, the crunch of leaves beneath your feet deafening in the quiet wilderness. Oh, and the ditchlings are just everywhere. Ditchling there, ditchling here. Sybil. Let's stop here for a bit. These old bones need a moment to rest. Oh, I'm definitely saving here because Max isn't going to ask any of these questions, but boy, do I ever want to. I do think I am going to say, Sybil, what is Wayne? Sybil. He's just a man. And there's a mystical option, so I'm taking it. We both know there's more to him than that. The smile briefly fades from her face. It's not exactly polite to share people's medical history. I may not have taken a Hippocratic oath, but I still respect the privacy of others. That doesn't mean you should trust him, though. Be careful with that one. Alright, I'm gonna go with... I'm also going to ask about the carvings, and then that's gonna be all Max asks about. Oh gosh, and that look on Sybil's face. Max. There was a stone carving of a goat's head and a pack of wolves in that basement. There was something similar in the mines last night, too. A circle of arms and chains. Both of them gave me visions. Sybil. Was there now? That's quite an interesting development. Perhaps we can discuss these visions over tea tomorrow, see if we can piece things together. Leave it at that. Are you ready to get moving again? Sybil. I am. The estate shouldn't be much further. You and Sybil trek through the remainder of the woods and find yourselves on the outskirts of the estate. Sybil. I'm looking forward to continuing our chat tomorrow once you've had some time to rest. Good luck handling Tabitha. I tried to soften her up over the phone, but there's only so much softening you can do with someone that prickly. Bless her heart. Get a good night's rest, Max. You've earned it. Sybil heads back through the woods, leaving you alone to face Tabitha. You open the door to the estate as quietly as you can, only to find your cousin anxiously pacing in the foyer. She's been waiting for you. Tabitha. I see you finally decided to drag your sorry ass back here. I don't even know what to say. I've told you so many times to stay out of trouble, to keep me posted about where you are, to come home in a timely manner. What's the point of saying it all again? Clearly you just don't care how your actions affect me, and I don't know how to make you care. Gosh, I don't know. I think even Max is like, alright, here's where like, staying silent is not good enough. I need to actually apologize. This was... like... I'm really sorry. I mean it. Tabitha. If you're sorry, act like it. I'm done arguing. Good night. Your cousin walks off, leaving you alone. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly, you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. It's Wednesday night. Nearly half of a week has passed since you first arrived in town, and a little over half a week remains until the bus comes to take you home. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. now commands the entirety of City Hall, a swirling void of wrath and despair that the people of this town will have to learn to ignore. Disaster looms its tallest yet over Scarlet Hollow. Yeah, alright, guess that's just the way things are. Sorry about your City Hall, folks. Not on me, though. Anyway, I like this little replay of all of the spookiness scenes. Oh, yeah, I wonder if some of the... Oh, and of course this creepiness. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that affects things later in the story. This is the end of episode 3. Thank you so much for playing. We hope to have episode 4 released before the end of the year. If you'd like to continue with this world state in episode 4, please save your game now. And I would indeed. Alright, I don't really need to keep that save. So, here we go. And so I guess we'll catch back up with Max again when Chapter 4 comes out. And thank you. Oh gosh, it's so late. I'm going to bed. So I'm going to keep this short. Thank you so much to Pow Vulcan and Box Puppy and Spirit Chrysalis and Johnny One Take, and I'm sure many of you have already gone to bed. But this was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that any of you were around for any part of it, and thank you to Pow and I'm assuming currently still Box Puppy for sticking it out to the end. It is cool that you were able to, and I appreciate it. You were both great. Thank you so much. Alright, so I will be back on Monday with Cinderella Phenomenon. And see y'all later. Bye! This was very fun and I appreciate you all. Good night and sleep well, everyone. I'm glad you had fun, Box Puppy. Take care, and yes, indeed, everyone take care and have a lovely rest of your night / early morning. Sleep well. Good night.